Welcome, everybody, to this 19th episode of your friendly neighborhood watch. And tonight, we are very happy to welcome our special guest,
Raistlin Bran.
Raistlin Bran.
Raistlin Bran.
All the way
Raistlin Bran.
from sunny Pasadena.
Yeah, Pasadena.
Yeah.
This is my brother-in-law, everybody.
Good to be
Your
here.
dear Dr. K. And as always, I'm here with my co-host, Mr. Peter Venkman.
Hello. Good to be here.
And
Doctor.
hopefully you guys are ready because we're going to rock and roll on this little doozy called 1985's Re-Animator.
Yeah.
No fucking around this time.
Blew my mind.
It's for real. Yeah.
we just finished it, what, like 10 minutes ago?
Yeah.
So we're like pretty fresh and
We're jazzed.
ready to rock and roll.
Yep.
Where to start?
Raistlin Bran's first time seeing it too.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so my key question right now.
Yes.
So you led with this is one of the best horror movies of all time.
Yeah. We both think so anyway.
Yeah, and we're
for sure.
all laughing
Yeah.
Yeah.
throughout it.
Right.
So my question is, when they're going to make this movie,
Yeah.
are they seeking some laughs, or are they going straight horror?
Yeah.
What was their
Right.
intention?
Yeah.
Right.
That's a great question.
Yes.
You wanna
I
start?
can only speculate because I haven't watched the making of that one in a long time. And if I remember right from it too, they don't actually address that question specifically, but I think they are definitely trying to be cheeky when it was cheeky, but a lot of the times when we're laughing, that's not when they were trying to be cheeky.
Right.
Right? Yeah. And I wonder if that's more got to do with just how we've aged as an audience.
Yeah.
Because
Probably.
probably in 1985,
It was pretty shocking.
it was way more to be shocking. Yeah, you were
Yeah.
really trying to freak people out.
Right. Yeah,
which is
that's
why it
true.
didn't have that big of appeal. There are people who, like us, who
Yeah.
fell in love with it after the fact. But
Yeah.
like at the time, people were like, holy crap,
What
dude,
is
this is
Yeah.
like really over the top. And then maybe part of the cult part is they think that then the cheeky part doesn't work either, right? Because now you can't get any of the humor out of
Yeah.
it. Whereas we're like, oh, that's all. Yeah, like all the Jim Carrey. All three of us were like, oh man, dude, Jim Carrey was seriously taking notes from
Right, from Herbert West.
from the Herbert West,
West.
character of Jeffrey Combs, who this is probably, I don't know, it's hard to say. He's in so many good horror movies, but this might be my favorite Jeffrey
Yeah,
Combs
he was
movie.
an interesting character.
Yeah,
Because he comes in at the beginning, he's like inciting all the evil.
right.
Yeah.
Then
And he doesn't end up being the bad guy.
he's not the bad guy.
Yeah.
He helps save them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's a good
Yeah,
point.
yeah,
Actually,
yeah.
I didn't think
Yeah,
about
it's
it that
kind of
way.
strange.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's obviously like the dark cloud that kind of comes in and throws everybody off because
Yeah.
everybody was fine before he came.
Right.
Yep.
But then you're right, like then he shines a light on like especially the creepy top scientist guy. Forgot his name.
Right. Dr.
Hill,
Dr. Hill.
Dr. Hill. Yeah.
the John Kerry looking guy.
Yes.
Yep,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He does. He had the exact John Kerry teeth,
does.
didn't he?
Yeah, kind of.
Oh man, that same kind
Yeah,
of
he
like
was
real
scared.
giant
Yeah.
head. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was-
Yeah, that's true, and he had that kind of style of acting too.
Yeah.
He's from a different
Yes.
era. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that I noticed. I was thinking something very similar along those lines. In that, in the first, before they get to reanimating the bodies, who we think are going to be our antagonists and protagonists, it's all kind of up in the air, right? Like you don't really know, and like you pointed out, obviously, we really do think that Herbert West is going to be the bad guy.
Yeah, you think it's going to be West.
But even
yeah.
more so is that it's the other doctors, you know, and then the head of the school, whatever his
dean,
name was,
yeah.
the girl's dad, right?
Yeah, Halsey.
Halsey, yeah. He kind of is a bad guy, but then he redeems himself because he wasn't a straight bad guy.
Yeah.
But he goes all the way off the deep end and is like a horrible, terrible monster.
Yeah.
But then he's the monster that kind of comes back and helps defeat the other monster, you know?
Right. Yeah. Well, and
Kind of like getting the Wolfman to help you defeat Dracula,
Yeah,
sort of
exactly.
thing, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So here's what I think is
Yeah.
that the director Stuart Gordon, right?
Yeah.
I feel that he was like laughing a lot while he was making this, you know? Like
Yeah.
he himself wasn't taking it that seriously because you have seen the other directors that do take it really seriously.
Yeah.
And then they're full of those kind of scenes that we were making fun of, where it's like, I was trying to hate you, but I just can't hate you.
Yes.
You know, he had a little bit of that.
Without
Yeah, the
a
melodrama.
doubt,
But-
he's saying something about drama in that scene.
But
yeah,
he
for
didn't.
sure.
You could tell he didn't load it with
Yeah.
that, because there are some of those horror directors that
Yep.
just like they're like, this is dead serious. You know,
Right.
like Ed Wood was like that. You know,
Right.
it's like he took it dead serious, and it's just full of this crappy
It just
dialogue.
fails miserably. Yeah. Yep.
And they just and like
Yep.
we could care less what they're saying. You know.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the thing with horror too is we've talked about this considerably, but in order to get horror to work, if you're serious all the time, and it does work, that's very difficult to be
Yes.
serious all of the time, because as a viewer, you start to tune out, and you don't become desensitized necessarily. That could be it too, but you start to be like, man, I need a break.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's probably what the 80s horror, what they figured out so well, was to get you on the roller coaster of adding humor and then having it be terrible, and then humor and terrible and humor and terrible.
Yeah.
But like in this movie, you know, I was dying of laughter when they throws that guy's head out into the hallway, and
Yeah,
it
throws the
bounces
head.
off the wall, and the guard's like, "Ooh!"
Yeah, the security guard all throughout.
Oh yeah,
comedy.
the guard reading the boudoir
Yeah.
magazine,
That
and
guy was great.
Yeah, walking out
all
for
his-
coffee.
Yeah, I gotta go get my coffee.
Like every,
He made a
yeah.
really big deal about getting coffee. Remember, he was like, "I'm gonna go get coffee."
Since you're here,
Yeah,
I can trust you.
yeah. And he's gone for like over an hour.
Yeah,
getting
just
coffee.
gone.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah.
Yeah.
But that definitely seems like it works in horror, right? To have if you can laugh at yourself, then you're bringing the audience in and saying it's okay to laugh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you introduce that aspect, I think.
Well, I think it's really, there's very few examples, and it's really, really difficult to sustain this level of horror. You know,
Yes.
like the only way
Yes.
to sustain it is to get more scary.
That's
you
the
know?
problem.
And like,
Right.
like how much
Yep.
scarier can you, so like
Right.
The Exorcist is brilliant at that.
Right.
You know,
Right.
like it just keeps getting worse and worse,
Right.
and worse,
Right.
and worse, and you keep thinking it's not going to get worse, and it gets
And
worse.
it gets
you know?
worse. Yeah.
I still haven't seen that.
Oh yeah, you gotta see.
That wasn't
We
even
gotta
on our
watch it.
list for tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
It's
one
one
that
of the
doesn't
best
have
all
any.
time.
It doesn't have any humor except maybe a couple of the lines from Reagan.
Yeah.
But that's also like
Yeah.
you laugh because it's like you need some kind of release.
because you're
you
getting
know?
so high strung.
Yeah,
Yeah. And The Shining, we've talked
The
about this
Shining
too. The
is
Shining
kinda
2 is
like
another
that,
one
too.
where they'll give you breaks, but they don't really break the tension.
No.
They just try to let off of there's the pressure that they're putting on you, but the whole movie is getting more and more tense, and so you just kind of back off a little bit, but they don't ever use humor in that movie,
No,
right?
really,
There's no
not
humor
really.
at all, because even when they introduced Scatman Crothers, you're like, okay, here's going to be the comedy relief. Not at all.
No.
Not even a little bit. Right?
Although it is kind of funny when there's that they cut to him
Oh,
sitting in his bed, and then the camera pulls back, and then there's like the giant naked woman painting with a huge afro behind him.
behind his bed.
That's like
Oh man,
that part always makes
that
me
makes
laugh.
you even more weirded out though a
Yeah.
little bit, right?
Yeah,
It's like,
right.
oh,
Yeah,
wait
because
a
you
minute.
thought he was all like Mr. Rogers and
Yeah,
nice, and
yeah,
but
yeah.
then he's
That's the older guy who also has the shine.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Do you shine?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, that's another one where it's like this. It's just the tension is just always, you know.
Yeah. Because and a lot of the times when they try not to give you any relief, it's like torture movies. You know, like Hostel was that way, where
It's
there's
not
just
fun.
no break. Last House on the Left is that way. Those are great movies, but those movies just try to grind you to pieces,
Yeah.
and then when it's over, you're like, I'm gonna go kill myself.
Yeah.
Good
True.
movies, but
True. Yeah.
definite.
Yeah, but when you can bounce back from
Yeah.
horror and
Yeah.
comedy, it's a winning combination.
Yeah. Evil Dead 2, I mean,
Yeah.
it's particularly part 2. Right, I think Sam Raimi said something almost exactly to this effect of like, in Evil Dead, they were just trying to make a movie, and it was supposed to be a horror movie, but it came out such a laughable piece of crap that when they went to do Evil Dead 2, which isn't a sequel, it's a remake, right? Then they said, now we need to step on the gas with the humor.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
that was, just let this Ash character
Yeah.
be a total idiot and fall down the stairs. And I mean, there's a million things in that one.
I haven't seen those either.
Oh,
I'm a
yeah.
total noob.
Oh yeah.
We can-
We'll start you on Evil Dead 2.
Yeah, we can recommend tons for you, man.
Yeah. Yeah,
You'll
Our
have a-
litany is
you'll have a blast.
is
Especially, you know, if you liked Re-Animator tonight, like that's a
Yeah.
great sign because there's
Yeah,
so
yeah,
many
yeah,
more we
yeah.
can.
Oh,
recommend.
yeah, Evil Dead 2's maybe
Yeah.
funnier. I don't know.
Yeah.
They're both, but they do
Yeah.
they kind of come out of the same thing.
I think Evil Dead 2 is funnier, and just in the sense that you really get to see Bruce Campbell.
Yeah, it is best.
Physically,
Yeah.
like it's like
Yeah.
Three Stooges type
Oh, absolutely.
stuff. You know?
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. Like he's he's one of the few people that can like flip himself over with his hand. You know.
Oh wow.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, and these are great too. I'm not going to speak for you, Peter, but I think one of the things we've talked about a lot is it's awesome to see when filmmakers can execute on no budget and make really good movies.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things I think that draws me to horror so much is that so much of what we and The Exorcist isn't one of these, and The Shining's not one, right? Those are big
Those are
budget
big
horror
budget,
movies,
yeah.
but far more often than not, we're talking about low budget stuff, and it's so awesome when with no money you can execute on so many levels. You know, they usually
Yeah.
don't execute on every level, but if they can just tell a really good story. It seems like the storytelling moves to the front when you don't have any money.
Right.
Right.
Yeah,
The
exactly.
first Star Trek, I remember hearing like Gene Roddenberry and everybody talk about that. They're like, look, we had no money for that show. Literally, we had no money. So if the storytelling wasn't good, it never would have went anywhere. Right. And whether or not you're a Star Trek fan, I always thought that was like a really cool way to look at it. It's like under the pressure of not having, you can't just be like, well, we'll do this and then we'll do that.
Well, exactly.
So how are we going to think to get around to tell this story the way
Yeah.
we want to tell it? And
Yeah, well, they did a good job with that. You guys mentioned no exteriors, just a couple establishment shots
really,
in this movie. Yeah.
Literally no exteriors. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just that opening shot.
Just a couple slides from Canada.
And yes. Let's show this Canadian library and call it a
Yeah, the hospital.
Miskatonic
Hospital.
University. Yep.
Yeah, that was it. And then just interiors at the hospital, interiors at the what's his face's house?
yes.
Yeah.
Rufus.
Herbert
All right, we got to
Rufus.
talk about Rufus.
What Rufus,
Well,
the poor cat.
before we get to Rufus, though, we
Okay.
have to talk about a very famous movie character that shows up early on in the movie.
Oh
we-
man,
A Dr. Gruber.
Dr.
Oh, yeah, okay, Hans
Gruber.
Yeah. All right, there you go.
Internet, if you know about this, you better start blowing our comments up because it blew all of our minds.
All right, so the name of the doctor in the teaser to this movie, the opening hook,
Yes,
is Hans Gruber.
who is, of course,
Yeah.
freaking Hans Gruber from
One of-
Die
Yeah,
Hard.
Rick.
One of the best movie villains of all time.
I think he was on your number. He was your number one, right?
Yeah.
On
Yeah.
5 Minute Top 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to beat. He's hard to beat.
Really.
Yeah.
That was great.
But-
and then
but
the two of you guys were just like busting out Hans Gruber lines for the next 10 minutes.
Oh yeah, the
When we
Forbes line.
realized.
Now
And we even-
have a machine gun. Ho, ho, ho. Right?
Oh, and then I forget the lines when he's speaking with an American accent.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Those
Oh,
are good.
yeah.
It's like,
No,
oh
no,
my
no.
God, are
Yeah.
you one of them?
Right. You're one of them. You're one of them, aren't you? Don't shoot me. Don't shoot me.
Yeah, that's it.
His name was Clay. Bill Clay. Yeah.
Such a good movie.
Yeah, Hans Gruber. Man,
But
that
yeah,
blew
so
our
Hans
minds.
Gruber, it's our opinion now that the name of Hans Gruber must have come.
Originated there.
Yeah, was
originated
that
there.
a homage?
It might have
It's
been.
maybe, right.
We'll have to go do some research.
And maybe,
folks.
I mean, we really should go back and read and see if it was Hans Gruber in the original H.P. Lovecraft story.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
Oh,
then
I
maybe
wonder,
the
yeah.
diehard writers were like, oh, I love this
Yeah.
H.P.
Yeah.
Lovecraft. And
Yeah.
Because
so
those
let's
movies
pull-
came out around the same time, right?
Yeah.
Well, when was
Yeah.
Die Hard?
So let's see, it was 85, and then
So
Die
Rick-
Hard was 87?
87 or 88?
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think it was 87. Yeah.
Yep. The Hans Gruber connection.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
amazing.
88.
Man. Yep. So yeah, that was fun.
Yes.
But then then let's lead into
And then Rufus.
All right, yeah, Rufus.
Yes, poor Rufus.
Rufus the cat. So I noticed. So I can't remember in the original scene when the couple's hooking up and Rufus like jumps on them.
Yeah.
Whether that was a real cat.
Yeah.
Oh,
I can't
like a
remember.
prop.
Or if they just threw
Yeah,
something.
but they just like threw something.
I thought it was a real cat because it looked like it jumps off him, but it was definitely not like that was an overdubbed cornhole cat
That's
noise.
what I was gonna say. I was gonna say maybe real cat, fake noise for
Right.
sure though.
Yeah.
Because that wasn't even a meow. It was like
No.
it was like some guy going, oh.
Yeah. So speaking of budget, that scene when I gotta get
Yeah, because we almost never really see the real cat, right? It's
No, we
almost
never
always
do.
a prop.
Yeah,
yeah,
never
yeah,
do.
yeah.
yeah. Well,
Yeah,
right.
next time we see it, it's dead already in the fridge.
You're right. It's in the fridge. Yeah. Yep.
But when West and who's the protagonist again? Bruce Abbott's the
Bruce
actor.
Abbott is the actor, right?
Kane.
Yeah.
Kane.
Dan
That's
Kane.
it. Kane. Yep.
All right, so when West and Kane are in the basement looking for the reanimated Rufus.
Yeah. Yep.
Like speaking of budget, so
Oh,
they're,
yeah, right.
they're just going around the room like swinging hammers at like just objects
Yeah.
in the room, and then
Just
later
bang
they
around
just
on
throw in
stuff.
that cat sound.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like, oh, he's over there, he's over there, he's over there.
Yeah.
And it's
I love
it
that.
works though, right?
Yeah,
'Cause
it's fine.
He's got like this stuffed animal
This-
Muppet on his back of a cat. But then like it's all handheld. I was
Yep.
watching that too. I was like,
Yep.
that's really nicely filmed because you're right. It's all done with light because the
Yeah.
light's going back and forth. Shadow, dark shadow, light.
Yep. Yeah, very 80s lighting.
Yeah.
Big time. Anytime when they're downstairs there or when they're in the hospital, it's got all of that like heavy white light, like a heavy hidden white light to backlight stuff, right?
Yeah.
Or it'll have a green light and everything's got that like just very 80s glamour
Yep.
look to it. And not really too much smoke, but definitely in the lighting.
Yeah.
That 80s glam.
For sure,
Which
for
is
sure.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's a good flavor.
It is. It is. Man. Yeah. So where did the budget go then? I think the budget really went for the makeup effects.
Oh, it's gotta be.
It
Yeah,
had to be. There's just so
Yeah.
much practical effect in it.
so much. Yeah,
Great practical
It
effects.
still holds up really well too. I thought.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah. Real smart too. I mean, there wasn't necessarily a monster. Well, there's the tongue thing that comes out of the guy's stomach.
Oh yeah, at the end. Yeah.
There's that.
That was great.
But it really is zombies, right? You're doing
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah,
like
zombies.
we're doing an application to each of these different people,
Yeah.
and then once Dr. What's his face pulls his head off.
Yeah, Dr. Hill.
Dr. Hill is kind of the monster more or less, but but he's not. It's not like in From Beyond where it's like it was a whole bunch of monsters. You know, there wasn't like big giant monster
Right.
effects.
Right. Yeah. They didn't have to build much. It was just more just
right,
like put things
right.
on people's faces and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what I mean, so getting to the zombies, right? I mean, great take on zombies. Very non-traditional take of having zombies being a reanimated human, but not. There's no witchcraft or anything. Just
Just
mad
green
science.
juice. Yeah.
Yeah. And then having them all be naked.
Yeah. But they what's their motivation too? Because most zombies are trying to eat your brains or something, right? But these zombies are just generally
Yeah, so
pissed
that
off.
kind of freaked out, right, about being
They're
reanimated.
just angry.
Yeah, they're just a little confused.
And then Dr. Hill is either mind controlling them or
I think
he's
he
not.
must have been. Yeah.
Yeah.
Must have been.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, because he has that line at the end. He's like, "Oh, I have a plan too."
Yeah.
And that's when they all.
They all pop
at
up. That
once.
was
Yeah, they all-
great too.
yeah,
They
they
all
all
sit
jump
up at the
up,
same
yeah.
time. Yeah, that was great in the body bags.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very thriller. I love that.
So thriller.
Yeah.
True.
So how do they get his head in a pan?
That was great. That whole scene, I was dying. Like from the minute that scene started, I was just couldn't stop laughing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it's in a pan for like a good 40 minutes.
Oh man, for that whole most of that act. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I saw in Iron Man they use the same. Do you remember? Have you seen Iron Man?
Oh yeah.
So there's the scene where, what's her name? Pepper.
Yeah.
Is like installing his heart.
Yep.
And it's like
Yeah.
the same setup that they use for this pan.
Yeah.
Where
Totally.
like
Right.
his
Right.
body separated from his head. His
I know
head,
exactly what
his,
you're talking about, yeah.
he's under a table
Yeah.
and his head's just sticking up.
Yep. Yeah.
Robert Downey Jr. has got like a fake body on him.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
great.
Yeah.
But yeah, they stole that from Re-Animator, I guess.
Totally. Yeah.
Oh yeah, so many things have been stolen from Re-Animator.
Oh,
over the years
man,
now,
yeah.
I think.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure this was the movie mentioned in American Beauty.
Yeah. Right.
And they were talking about the scene at the end when the dean crushes
Yes.
John Kerry's head.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's what Ricky and what's his name? House of Cards dude.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Kevin Spacey.
Bond over, yeah.
There we go. Yep.
Yeah, Re-Animator.
Yep.
Yeah.
I just made the connection. So earlier when you mentioned John Kerry, I was thinking you said John Carradine.
No.
You know John Carradine, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I can't picture him.
But
doing
Dave
it.
Carradine's dad, right?
Yeah,
I know,
but
the politician, John Kerry.
But John he's even more so John Kerry.
Yeah.
Holy
Yeah.
crap.
Oh yeah.
He really is.
Yeah. Real big head.
Yeah.
Real big teeth.
Same smile and everything.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah, it was almost like a Munster,
Yeah.
Yeah, a Munster
like
version.
Carrie hybrid. Yeah, it's nuts.
That's kind of blowing my mind.
Sorry,
right now.
John, if you're listening, we love you, but that you really do look like that actor.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah. Man. I'm trying to think of all the parts I was just dying laughing.
Yeah, so the when West puts Hill's head on the little spike.
Yeah,
Yeah,
on
that's
the receipt.
yeah, so
the
obviously
little
that's a
receipt
little
stand.
comedic moment.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. They were definitely having fun there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That too, and when he's waiting for him to wake up, and he's just tapping him on his forehead with his pencil.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so what's with the pencil? What was with the pencil?
Yeah, that was a recurring thing, right?
Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah.
That whole tension. Oh, that whole tension thing when they're in the class.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's just like snaps his pencil.
Yeah.
You know, it's like the whole power play was going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought that was gonna be some like meta. I thought they were gonna go to some metaphorical thing where like you could unbreak a pencil, because that's kind of what they're doing when they're
Right.
reanimating someone.
Yeah.
It didn't go that way.
No.
It was just
setting
that's
up
the
that-
way to piss off
Yeah.
Right.
your instructor at
Right.
medical school. Just
Yep.
snapping
Dog
pencils
them
in
and
half.
Snap your pencil. To
And it
call
will drive
bullshit.
them crazy.
Yeah, it's like he got disproportionately angry
Yeah.
about that pencil snapping.
Yeah, it's almost like it was a special pencil,
Right.
judged by his reaction.
Right.
He's like, once I can handle, but twice in the same lecture, class is dismissed.
Yeah, that scene was that was a great scene.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
From the peeling of the head.
Oh man. And his hat, that hat that he's got on, it's like it's a medical hat, but he's got it all floated up real high. You know, it makes his head look bigger. Yeah.
Yeah, we were
that's not
joking
easy.
about that because we were like, this is medical school in the 80s, you know? It's just like, he's like, this is a bone saw.
Yeah.
And then as you peel the skin off, it's kind of like peeling an orange.
At least it messed
Now
with
you're a
Connor.
doctor, everyone.
Oh,
Go treat some customers.
basically.
That was it.
Go peel some corpses. Yeah.
Yeah, that was fun.
Oh, good stuff.
Yeah, but man, we got to talk about Jeffrey Combs.
Yes.
As
Oh,
Herbert
yes.
West, because this was
Right.
really
Oh,
his
yeah, okay.
first. This was like his first
Yeah.
big movie, right?
Yeah. Yep.
And then after that, Stuart Gordon used him again.
Oh,
and again
dude,
and again,
time
you
and
know?
time and time again. Yeah.
But he just nails it, man. Like
Yep.
he's so creepy and so
Yep.
weird, and just like
Yeah, that's probably the best performance in the movie easily, right?
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because he's there's a character there,
Yeah.
right? And he's
Yeah.
really like all in
Mm-hmm.
on what is the character of this Herbert West?
yeah,
Right.
because everybody else is kind of playing like a stock character.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
He's
And
like a
he
unique-
almost like he kind of wants to do good. It's
Sure.
twisted, but yeah.
Yeah. But he's a little maniacal, and his motives are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
not-
Well, he's like a
not very
drug
good.
addict almost, because he's like we can bring people back to life.
Yeah.
Like, let's do it all the time.
20
Right.
more CCs.
Right.
Yeah.
Like somebody, they put it in the one guy. That was my favorite scene though too. Was that they put it in that one guy. So they sneak in back there, right?
Yeah.
And,
The first guy, the Marine.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the
Yeah.
big naked guy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the big
yep.
naked guy does some pro wrestling on him, and
Yes.
and then the dad comes in, right? The dean, and he's like up against the door. Hey, what's going on in there? And then like the door lands on him.
Yeah.
And the wrestler guy jumps and starts jumping on the door, and there's all these like squishy noises. He just completely like floors that guy, and then he bites
throws
his
the door
fingers
off, picks him up, and bites his
It
fingers
bites
off.
the fingers. That's the rough one. Because you can't. Yeah, it's tough to come back from that.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
that's a rough death.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But man, that was
That's
just
cool
great.
because it's a bit of a whirlwind. You know, you're trying to pull that the other character who's good.
Yeah.
You're
Kane.
like, how are we gonna suck him in?
Yeah.
And it just goes so fast, right? From when that guy reanimates to when the administrator guy dies.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, we have to bring him back to life.
Yeah.
And they're
He's
like, oh,
so
God.
fresh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, let's
Yeah.
do it.
It's like,
Yeah, they're all in by
my
now.
girlfriend's dad.
Yeah.
We better do it. And then he's just a little golem. You know, he was one of the best reanimated zombies, right?
He was
The
so
look of
good.
that guy?
He was so good. But I love Herbert West's little like the security guard comes in and he's like, oh yeah. So he came in and he just went crazy, and then he like took the bone saw and smashed through him. And the whole time the daughter's like, no, he didn't. You killed him. He's like, don't listen to her. And then the security guard's like, I'm going to get the police.
That was pure humor.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
Asked
great.
for help from a cop, and what does he say? I'm gonna go get some other cops.
I need some backup here. This is a lot of work. I don't even know what to do here. There's fingers all over the ground.
Poor guy.
And then he never comes back, right? And then that's it.
He had
Don't
to go
need
get his
anymore.
coffee.
Yeah, he went out for coffee.
Yeah, he's like, fuck this, I'm out of here.
Yeah, but you're totally right though. Like Dr. West, he is trying to do good in some weird way, but it is like a drug addict or something where it's like they just keep backsliding, and they're things are getting worse and worse and worse, and they're just trying to figure out how to keep it going, you know?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
And,
Yep.
and you're just like, I think somebody should just put him in jail, probably,
Yep.
because it's only going to get worse. But
So obviously West injected Hans Gruber,
yeah,
we think.
yeah,
Yeah, that's interesting, right? So, like, exactly what was going on there? Was he just out to kill Gruber, or
well,
I don't know.
because it seems more like he's a little bit of a bungler, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
And so then his character doesn't know how to like show any kind of restraint or anything.
Yeah.
And so, did he just kill Gruber? Or
Yeah, what's the deal with that?
I don't know.
Because Gruber's eyes
Yeah.
yeah.
bled out, right?
Totally, and right in that lady's face, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, what do you think?
Well, my theory is that because remember later he's like, why did you leave Switzerland? Well, I learned all I could there. You know?
Yeah.
It almost seems like him and Hans Gruber were working together. And
Right.
then Hans Gruber was like, inject me, man. Just inject me.
Right.
You know?
Oh, maybe.
Because then later he was like, I gave him, the dosage was too much. You
Right.
know?
But so here's the thing, but he wouldn't have given it to him when he was alive.
When he was alive.
So
Right.
maybe was he sick or something? I
Maybe.
thought of that before too. Like maybe he was sick and he was gonna die.
Yeah.
They're like, give me the injection.
Or maybe they were
Yeah, I
both
wonder.
shooting up on themselves and just trying different like little
Yeah, maybe.
experiments, you know?
Yeah.
Give me some more mutant gin, man.
Maybe they were doing like a flatliner thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right.
That
right,
totally
right.
could be it. Oh,
Maybe.
Flatliners is awesome.
Great
I love
movie.
that movie.
Great
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah, you guys got to do that
Oliver
one.
Platt, man. Oliver Platt.
And Kiefer, it's got one of the best opening lines of any
Kiefer,
movie
yeah.
where Kiefer Sutherland's standing there with his trench coat on, and
Yeah.
he's like, "Today's a good day to die."
Oh, nice. I haven't seen that
yeah.
since it came out, basically.
Yeah.
So good.
That
Yeah.
was good. They
And
made
then
a remake,
They
right?
remade it, and
Ah,
nobody
they did.
saw it.
Yeah.
I never
it's-
saw it.
I didn't
I
see
didn't
it.
see it either. Yeah.
Same with Poltergeist.
It's
Didn't see
Ellen
that.
Page
know.
is in it or something.
What's that?
Ellen Page, I think, is in the
Oh,
Flatliner remake. I might be wrong about that.
I don't even know.
Yeah, it could be right though.
IMDb it, people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But just see the original. you know?
Yeah.
Mhm.
The original's got that great
Oh,
scene
man.
with Kevin Bacon too. You remember that?
Yeah.
Yep.
And that little girl. And she's
Yeah,
just
the girl.
cussing
That's
him
what I
out.
just thought of.
Oh, that's the
Hey,
best.
On the-
Felicio!
Right? She's just like cussing him
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, on the
on the bus,
L
or
train or
or whatever it
something?
was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Limp. Didn't she call him like limp dick or something?
She called them all sorts of shit. Yeah, limp dick, fellatio. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah, it's so funny to see how those characters all go from being like these hoity-toity
Yeah.
med students to like total downward spiral
Yeah.
Yeah.
as they're falling into the.
Well, that's really the lesson here is when you're in
Yeah.
med school, don't do experiments on yourself. Just follow the curriculum.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know?
Yes. Listen to Julia Lewis.
Yeah.
Julia Roberts.
Yeah.
Julia Lewis. Don't listen to her.
No.
Listen to Julia Roberts. Don't do it.
Yeah. Just follow the curriculum. The same thing with Re-Animator. If you would have just
Yes.
studied, just did what Dr. Hill told you to do,
That's right.
you know? That dean was very angry when he found out they were doing experiments on
man.
Rufus.
Yeah.
And he's like, both of you are gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
just for
could have
doing
stopped.
experiments on a cat.
Yeah.
Right.
And he wasn't even there. He just heard the story.
Yep.
So I was thinking like Kane should have just been like, you know what? I just made that story up. I'm sorry. You know, can I have my student loan back?
Just messing with you.
He just hears a story and he gets that angry.
Yeah.
You guys were experimenting off hours? Yes. This has nothing to do with your homework.
Yep.
You're out of here.
See, yeah, that's when he pulled the scholarship or something.
Yeah.
He pulled the scholarship based on a story.
Yeah. Yeah, I was curious about. I almost asked you to pause to like see the time counts on like different things to see like, all right, when's Act 1 ending, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because I think that was around the end of Act 1.
Right.
Yeah.
Like.
Because then everything got amped up after that.
Yeah, because that's the point of no return. They say, right?
Yeah.
Where like they break into the hospital.
Yeah.
And I was trying to think like, all right, what's the, like at school they called it the 10-minute point, like the inciting incident. And I was thinking, all right, that's when
we got to get some of your background.
All right, I'm taking some film classes at UCLA right now.
Yes. Nice.
But so yeah, I think the 10-minute point, the inciting incident, so to speak, was when West becomes his roommate.
Yeah.
I think that was around 10 minutes. I'm not sure.
Yep.
And then probably the Rufus stuff was around 17 minutes. I don't know.
Yep.
I don't know.
That seems about right.
I was curious.
Yeah.
It's pretty. It's, that's one of the good things about this movie though too, is it goes pretty. It gets a pretty good clip. Like there's another thing that I feel like amateur or low budget movies do. They spend way too much on the first act, trying to build all this history and like relationships and stuff. And you know what?
Because they can't cash in at the end.
Yeah.
Why? So it's all build up because they know they can't spend time or money for the cash in.
Right. So they just build. And most, I think, like in this day and age now, like most of us have seen 5,000 movies and we're just like, we don't need all that.
Right.
Give us enough to get going and then like, let's get into the action. Let's see what you got,
Yeah.
And this movie is pretty good about that. Like it's, it builds it up just enough, and then you're off, and then it's like pulling out the stops.
Yes.
Yeah. What's the runtime on the movie?
We'll find out here.
95 minutes.
Yeah, and it is great, like how we were saying that earlier, but
hour 45.
Oh wow.
Ooh, okay. So yeah. A little bit more. Yeah. It's good though. You're never like, dang it, speed up, chop.
Yeah, it was quick.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's running at a good clip.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if there was any parts that really lagged, but not really. I mean the maybe the dinner scene where they're all having wine together and stuff. That was a little bit like, I don't know, wasn't that necessary? But I guess it set up Dr. Hill. As being like,
right,
and I do really like your daughter.
Oh yeah, he got creepy.
He did.
Yeah. Okay. So did they ever explain that with the folder and
I know
how he was obsessed with her?
I think that is trying to perpetuate the idea that he has mind control somehow.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
It had something to because
so that was like
really
kind of
don't
a
get
voodoo
into that very much.
Type thing.
Yeah, it's like maybe he was trying, because there's that scene too where right before Herbert kills him and they're just staring at each other, and then Herbert like totally backs off.
Yeah.
He's like forcing his will. You're going to give it to me.
Yeah.
And then it just stops, and it's the two of them looking at each other, and then Herbert totally starts to back off.
Yeah.
I thought that's trying to give you this idea that he's got some kind of mind control.
Yeah.
He's got some or influence or whatever you want to call it, right?
Yeah, definitely.
And then so I thought that secret file that he had was some way that he was building his influence on her character.
Yeah,
right, which he never gets to cash in on.
Right.
That we're teased with at the dinner party.
He starts to cash in on it.
Yeah.
Well,
but ultimately what he has is zombie mind power.
Yeah. That's when he found out, like, oh, okay, this is where I get all my power.
Okay.
But he really he tried to make his move though too. Remember, after her dad turns into a zombie. And he was trying to hypnotize her in his office there, and that scene is awesome too, because he's just like he's like, and then if you ever get lonely, and he gets closer and closer, and then bam, her dad's head starts hitting the glass behind them. It was the best.
Yep.
And that guy just he was fine as the dad and everything. He did a perfectly acceptable like TV actor job.
Yeah.
But once he turned into a zombie, he was phenomenal.
Yeah, he was good.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I love too that he's kind of he's a bit antagonistic as the dad, but then he's totally antagonistic as the zombie,
Right.
until he becomes kind of a he's the
then he's
he
the good
redeems
zombie.
himself.
redeemer as a zombie.
Yeah.
That's a cool
Little arc.
journey to put your character on.
Because
Right?
he turned on Hill, right?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. He's the one who
He's
crushes
the one.
Hill.
Yeah.
He's the one that crushes that.
Okay.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, he's the one.
Oh man.
All of that stuff. All of that. Decapitated Hill walking his body around, and then particularly when we see him when he puts the fake head on the body to sneak into the morgue.
Yeah, that's
I love
good.
that. He just
That's
sneaks
just
past the
Pure
security
humor.
guard.
Yeah, and his ear
that
falls
you?
off.
Is that you, Dr. Hill?
Yes,
Yeah.
it's me.
From inside the bag.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, seems normal to me.
Yeah, and then Hill's facial expressions while he's trying to like have his body walk around.
man.
That was great.
When it falls over and he's like, oh.
He's just rolling his eyes at his own body. That's good.
And then he has like an orgasm when he pours the blood in there
Oh yeah.
to
He's like,
rejuvenate.
And then he
All
picks
the
up the head.
perverted stuff, right?
Yeah.
With when he gets homegirl. What's
Oh,
Barbara
God.
Crampton? What's her character's name?
Yeah,
Oh,
Halsey.
yeah,
Halsey.
Megan.
Megan.
Megan Halsey.
Yes. So when Megan, they finally get the naked Megan up on the
Yeah.
slab, you know,
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
of that stuff
Yeah.
of like the.
Oh, man.
That stuff
Have
you
him
said
looking between her legs
was
and all the.
That
the-
was censored. I know
Censored,
that was
yeah.
in the original version. That was
Yeah.
cut out because
Yeah.
it was like you can do all the things you want, but the minute you have a decapitated head trying to do cunnilingus,
Yes.
yeah.
that's where we say no.
We say no. Sorry.
No, can't do that.
But props to Barbara Crampton for pulling it off, just laying there naked.
Major
I mean, how
props.
many hours do you think she had to be there?
Oh, man, and
on
like
that metal table, butt
People
naked.
manhandling her breasts and
Yeah.
like
Oh,
that-
yeah.
and then
Yeah.
the gross John Kerry like licking her. Like, oh God, you know. I was like, all of us were like, I hope she got a big paycheck out of this. Maybe that's where most. I hope that's where most of the budget went, besides the makeups. Yeah, because they really only had to pay her and the bandage face guy.
Yeah, bandage face guy.
Those were the two like stars. To me.
Oh man.
Yes. That guy was great.
So what scene was that? Because we have to tell people what that was.
Dang it! That was the waiting room shot where
Yeah.
before she has made it back into the.
Yeah, when
so-
they're first reanimating naked guy, right?
Yes.
That's, yeah.
Yep.
She's sitting there
And
waiting.
Stuart Gordon's wife, who is in this movie again, who was fantastic in.
Yeah, From Beyond.
In From Beyond, plays a very similar character, but yeah, and so
So then Megan is sitting there in the waiting room next to this guy who just, I don't think he had a jaw, right? Like he had a bandage around his face.
he did not have a jaw.
He didn't have a
Something
bottom
was
jaw or
missing there.
something.
Yeah.
And we were all just like,
and he was
who
just
was
staring
that?
at her.
Yeah.
He's just staring at her.
Yeah.
She's like,
And dang it, he wasn't in the credits.
Wait, and didn't she like hand him a magazine or something?
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
gets up and she's like, "Oh, here,
Yeah,
read
yeah,
this."
it's like, oh, thank you.
And he watches her walk away.
That guy, I mean, like all of us were just like, who is that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's probably
There's a
Sam
story
Raimi.
there.
Yeah. Stole the movie. Yeah. Oh man. Oh, that yeah, there's so many like but that go back to that scene though where, you know, it's Herbert West
Yeah.
and Dr. Hill.
Yeah.
And Dr. Hill's like, you know, he wants to get the mutagen from him. You know?
Yeah.
And that scene was great. And
Yeah. He goes
then
and
he's
gets
like,
the shovel.
I
Oh, man.
will be famous. And then right after that, chops his head off. Oh, the timing in this movie is just perfect.
Yep. And that great shovel. He's got the shovel. Almost got his head cut off, but not quite. Right. And it's just his head half with a shovel halfway cutting his head off, and he's going.
This is why I think as audience members, even though we definitely don't approve of Dr. West, you know,
Right.
but
Right.
he does turn into kind of the hero in a way, and as an audience member, this is my theory, at least this is how I feel.
Yep.
When we see a character acting like completely confidently, no qualms, this is what I want to do, I'm going to do whatever I can to get it, you know.
Yeah.
We admire that, you know.
That's right.
And that's
right.
that's
Even
what's
when
hap-
they're
yeah, that's what's happening in that scene. He's just
You're
like,
right.
I'm going to kill him. I'm going to chop his head off with a shovel.
Yep.
That's what I got to do.
Then I'm gonna bring his head back to life
Right.
Yes.
for
And
science.
there's no
Yeah.
qualms. There's no like hesitation.
Parts.
Yeah.
There's
He
no
says,
hesitation.
yeah.
There's no second guessing.
Yeah.
Like
I haven't
Herbert
tried
West
with the
never-
parts.
Yeah.
I need to try the parts.
Right.
Something along those lines.
Yeah.
Right. He's gonna just have some fun now. He's like, wow, this is a good idea. Man, brilliant.
Yep. Really. Well, yeah, because that's the whole thing is they're looking in the microscope at he's got that little piece of a cat meat in there,
Yeah.
right? And he's like,
Yeah,
watch
cat
me
fly-
reanimate
cat
the
brain?
cells
Yeah.
or whatever it was,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, as
And
a
then it's like,
distraction.
oh, wait a minute.
Yeah.
I like how there's really not a single good character though in this whole movie. You know?
Yeah,
Like, they're-
not really.
They're
They
all
all
they're
kinda-
all like
Yeah,
that's
well, I
a-
guess Megan, she's kind of the most innocent.
she
in it,
is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she is.
Yeah. But you know, she's sleeping with one of the students
that's
right
true.
underneath her
That's true.
dad's nose.
That's
you know?
true.
She's not.
Yeah.
That's true.
She's not.
That does get
she's
into
not
those
as pure
80s,
as the driven
those totally
snow.
80s tropes, those slasher
Yeah.
tropes, right?
Yeah.
Like you get punished for having sex.
Yes, right.
You get punished for smoking weed.
Yeah, yeah.
You get,
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, Friday the 13th,
Yeah.
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yep.
They loved
Yep.
cashing in
You
on
don't-
that weird puritanical
Yep.
craziness that was
Yes,
going
we
on.
Speaking
don't
of that,
follow
have
it.
you seen It Follows?
Yeah.
I have
good.
not, but yeah, he has. Yep.
I liked it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that needs an episode.
Yeah.
That movie's
Yeah, yeah,
incredible.
Yeah.
Well, you know what's
But
funny about it though?
Same idea with the puritanical.
Right.
Oh,
Right.
that's full of that stuff,
Oh.
and it's so. I mean, it's almost a little too metaphorical in some ways, but it's good though. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
it's good.
executed
It's
really
creepy.
well.
Yeah,
for
nice.
sure.
Scary.
For sure. But it's interesting because I've heard from because I loved it too, but then there's other people that are just like, oh, that wasn't scary at all, you know. And I'm like, what?
Yeah. Weird.
Have you heard that before? Like, there's a lot of movies like that where I'm like, oh, that freaked me out, and then you ask somebody else, and they're like, oh, I had the opposite. You know.
Yeah, and
reaction.
that isn't that totally cool how it's like what you bring to the movie.
Yeah.
Sometimes like we
Yeah.
all kind of watch it in a different way.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
how about this? How about when you watch something with and you're both freaked out, but then you talk about it and it's for radically different reasons.
Yeah.
Right? You're like, well, but what'd you think about this? I'm like, oh, I didn't think that at all. I thought this was going on, and that freaked me out. And you're like, oh, what? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Like for Re-Animator, I think the scariest thing to me was the cat.
Ah, the cat.
The
Yeah,
noises
cat was
that
scary.
cat made.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I felt that was the only time where I felt like physically like, oh God, I wouldn't like to be in that room. You know.
Yep.
Everything else, like the
Yeah,
wrestling,
like in the
zombies and
fridge
stuff.
part,
Yeah.
like with the cat in the fridge.
Yeah.
Yeah, cat
that
in the
was gross
fridge.
too.
Yeah, where that was kind of disturbing. Yeah.
Kane throwing his cat against the wall
Yes.
Yeah.
to kill it. That was the heartbreaking moment for
Right,
me.
right.
Just as like a pet owner.
That is a very good
It's
point.
like
Oh man, and then they get it up on the table and it's all like broken in half, right?
Yeah.
It's like barely
no
together.
qualms at all. Like
Oh,
that,
yeah.
that,
Yeah,
that
yeah,
that's
yeah.
a good.
Yeah.
That's I'm glad. You
yeah,
brought
to me
up.
that was the one moment that kind of bumped where it was like,
yeah.
wouldn't you have a moment of hesitation
Right.
before
Mhm.
like
Right,
throwing your cat against
Yeah. No hesitation.
Yeah.
That was the influence of Herbert West, though. Like
Yeah,
he
I
could
guess
just
so.
get people
Yeah.
to do whatever he wanted.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, totally his character trope. Yeah.
So Herbert killed the cat,
Yeah.
we assume?
Yeah, I think he did.
We assume?
right? He
Yeah.
probably that was his whole plan, right? Was
Yeah.
like, oh, whoops, it actually it died on accident. But
Not a very smart move as a roommate, though.
No, yeah, not a
he lived there
Yeah.
for one day.
Yeah. Right. You couldn't just go find a stray
yeah,
cat.
can't you just find a cat somewhere?
Right.
Oh.
Yeah, he's kind of a creep.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, he's very one track mind. And
Yeah.
he's like that's there now. I can do experiments on
Yeah.
it now.
Yeah.
This
And
cat
I'll-
doesn't like me anyway.
Right.
Right.
I'll think of an excuse later. And then his excuse is beautiful too. He's like,
Oh yeah.
the cat was in the garbage and it got its head stuck in a jar and suffocated. You know, you're like,
Bullshit.
yeah.
Yeah, they don't even go bullshit. What? What are you talking about?
And
was gonna
I
tell
put
you,
it
but I
in
was-
the fridge
I was
because
busy.
yeah.
Yeah.
What was I supposed to do? Leave a note that said "cat dead"? Details later. Thinks on his feet.
I know, and they were kind of like, I guess you're right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'll buy that. Because what roommate would move in after one day and kill our cat? No human being would do that.
All right, so let's do a round table then. So that was the creepiest moment for you.
Well, I'm just saying, like, if I look at the movie as a whole, like, that's the only part where I'm a little bit like physically uncomfortable.
Yeah.
It's like I don't want
Okay,
to be
good.
around
No,
that
let's go
cat.
with that then.
Mm.
Let's go with that.
Yeah.
Like, okay, same question.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess the cat. I mean,
Oh,
the
yeah.
cat was,
Yeah.
cat was creepy.
Yeah.
The noises it made.
And its guts were on the outside.
Yeah.
Yes. Totally. Okay.
And I'm not sure if it had eyes anymore.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe not.
Or a face. Or
Totally.
or did
I
it
know,
ever
it's
in the
kinda
first
like
place?
it was like a mess, right? I mean, it was
Yeah.
a total mess on that
That's
table.
a good point because we never got
We
to
never
see it.
really saw the cat.
Yeah.
except for in the fridge.
Yeah.
But like, couldn't see much there.
Yeah.
It's a frozen cat.
Yeah.
Yeah, do we ever see the cat move? I'm curious.
Man.
Can we get a director's cut where they go back and they CG the cat?
Yeah. So there was a cat, right?
George Lucas will come back and CG the cat in there.
They should.
And then we'll be like, oh,
Yeah, I'm
that's
curious
a cat.
in that sex scene whether
Yeah.
we see the cat move or someone's just throwing a
Right,
stuffed
right,
animal at
yeah.
them.
Right.
Yeah.
No.
Because I mean, really, that could have been that could have saved them thousands of dollars.
Oh, I'm
with
sure, yeah.
animal handling
Yep.
and frustration of being
Yeah.
like never getting the cat to do what it's supposed to do
Yeah.
and wasted time and all that.
Yeah.
That's so
Yeah.
true. I
Yeah.
mean, how much do you want to bet they did try to film with that cat? And
Yeah.
they're just like, this is
Right.
unusable.
Yeah.
That cat is an asshole.
Right.
That cat is a jerk.
Yeah.
Just
We're
get him.
killing that
yeah.
guy. Dang it.
He won't sit still. We try to get one close up on him. Just use the Muppet cat.
Mm-hmm.
What was your scariest part, Dr. K?
Man, I think I just really like when it's just like when it was a total melee. So after they all got reanimated, and then it just got to where it was like it was pure craziness.
Yeah.
Because it's like kind of claustrophobic in there, and then I'm just it's like they were all like totally grody, you know, and that whole thing. It's just all like everybody's grabbing.
Yep.
It's like you're trying to either get away or somebody's grabbing you, or you're moving and somebody's grabbing you. That was kind of with that it looked good the way they cut that all together because it's all real fast cut shots, right? Because otherwise you're showing their taint swinging around and stuff.
Right.
Right. And there's some in there. I mean, you can see that guy's dick flopping around
Probably
in
right.
one of those shots for sure.
There's a lot of
I mean,
unnecessary nudity in this, for sure.
Mhm.
Like, we don't need all that nudity,
Or don't we?
A little too real for my tastes. Like,
Yeah, they show that guy's butt a lot.
yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
Yep.
Not very flatteringly either.
No, I know, right?
But then they all had like some creative way that they died too. I thought that was cool because it was
That
like,
was
man, what are the odds? Like the whole morgue is full of like everyone has a different cause of death.
Oh, right. Yeah, there was the burn.
Yep.
Someone shotgun
Heart.
to the face.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, it was everything.
The big fat lady who just died of a heart attack, right?
Oh, yeah.
Who we
Didn't
see
she
in-
have like staples in her neck or something though too? Like
Was she the one from the opening?
That's what I thought, but
the opening?
we don't really ever see
Like when
Hans
Cain,
Gruber?
Yeah.
Cain, when
He's
we
trying to
first meet
revive her.
Cain, he's
Yeah.
trying to revive
Yeah,
someone.
yeah.
Yeah, I
And
think she was. You're right.
And
Okay.
that's what I assumed, but then we don't ever actually see that lady's face or anything. We just see her on the table.
We saw her breasts though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, and her belly. But, so then, I just assumed that was that
Yeah.
naked lady.
yeah.
Naked zombie lady.
So that was really well done. That
Yeah.
they bring us back to that same moment again.
Yeah.
At the
Yeah,
end of the
yeah,
movie.
Yeah. That was touching.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Talk about
Yeah.
setting up Bride of Re-Animator, right?
Perfect symmetry.
Yeah. So is she is the same actress as in Bride of Re-Animator?
I think-
Barbara
is it-
Crampton is in
is
the
it-
second one. I think by then she was too big. I think she was
Oh,
too big.
yeah.
of a
You might
star.
be right.
But it's the same character.
Yes.
I don't think because I think
Isn't it?
No, I think the Bride of Re-Animator is like they just got like a hooker off the street or something like that.
Oh, dude, I haven't seen it. I
don't
think you're right.
Because my feeling is that Barbara Crampton after this
Yeah.
movie,
Yeah,
she
yeah,
was
yeah,
like,
yeah,
I just had that old John Kerry grabbing my breasts
Yeah, that's
and
true.
licking me. I am not doing a movie with these guys again.
Yeah.
But then she did because she did.
Yeah. Yeah, well,
She did From Beyond.
but that time she was like, oh, okay, I get to wear S&M stuff.
Yeah,
Nobody's
yeah,
licking
yeah,
me.
yeah.
I'll do it.
I won't be totally naked.
yeah.
I'll just be mostly naked.
John Kerry's not in this one. I'll
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah, yeah.
Just get me away from that guy because he was creepy.
He was
Like,
scary. Yeah.
How can you? I mean, a lot of that is good acting,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
like-
Oh, totally.
But
Yeah.
like you have
Yeah,
to be.
yeah, yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
he seems like he was creepy in real life. That's not a nice thing to say to the actor.
Right.
But,
Yeah, who knows?
But he's like he's genuinely creepy.
Yeah. Agreed.
So,
Agreed.
but I love in that scene though when with the elevator. And then all of a sudden the burn
Oh,
victim
yeah.
guy
Yeah,
just
burn
kind
guy.
of sneaks in. Like all this stuff's going and he's just
Yeah.
like
I'll
He
get in there.
swoops in, strangles her in
Strangles her.
about 18 seconds.
Gets the
In
freaking
18
fire
seconds.
axe.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then that was a good effect too. His arm is like twitching on the ground still.
Yeah.
Oh, that was
that
cracking
was a
me
good
up,
through
though.
the floor effect. I like that. Yep.
They did a lot. That's what I liked about this too. And Evil Dead 2 is like this too. They do a lot of things where you can tell, you can see their thinking, you know? Like you can that's the problem with a lot of CG is it's so glossed over and clean and pretty that you don't really see all the thinking into it. But like this has got tons of stuff where it's like, you know, the headless body holding the head.
Right.
Yeah.
So how do we do that? You know?
Right.
Yeah.
So then you get a tall guy to scrouch his head down. And like there's that one scene where it's like his body is slightly wider than it was before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's holding his head, and you're like,
like,
something feels off about that. But I'm gonna believe it.
But I'll buy into it.
Yeah,
I'll buy
into it.
Suspension of disbelief.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're like, oh, that's okay.
We've talked about that before, Raistlin.
Yeah.
Where for some reason, I see how you feel about this, but for some reason, when it's a practical effect as an audience member, you're much more like lenient with it. You're much more like, you know, oh, I'll buy that.
Yeah.
Whereas
You think
when you
that's
see
true
CG,
versus-
you see CG and you're like, fake.
Oh yeah. No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're like, that's crappy CG. They could have done better than that. You know?
Yeah.
But then you see some janky like Armatron arm holding like a, you know, and you're like, that looks real. That looks real.
Looks pretty good.
It maybe it would move like that.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah.
That's a weird psychological
Well,
thing.
and
that
I mean,
happens.
think too, one of our all-time favorites, right? RoboCop, when that guy comes out and he's all like,
Oh my God, that's the best.
I
He's
don't
all
remember that.
like hit with the car. Oh,
he gets a vat of like toxic waste. poured
yeah,
on
toxic waste pours on
And then
him.
he
So he
turns
turns
into,
into
like-
like Toxic Avenger. Yeah.
him. He's got like
walking around.
tentacles. And then the car just comes out of nowhere and hits him.
Waylays
and it's like
him.
a bag of water just all over the windshield. It's the best.
Yeah. So how would they do the effects if they were gonna make this movie today? Would it still be practical?
I don't think so. We've kind of talked about
too
this. The
expensive,
problem with
right?
practical effects now, it's getting harder and harder to actually find people to do all practical effects and get greenlit for it, right?
Okay.
And I think part of it, this is just a guess, but they've got so many people working in digital effects now that most big studios already have contracts with all of these other effects houses, right? So it's like, if you're doing a movie, you're using these guys.
Yeah, that makes
And
sense.
so they just skip right out. And because, I mean, we've watched just 1,000 interviews with the guys who were the top practical effects guys in the 70s and the 80s. They're all retired, every single one of them.
Oh wow.
And, you know, Rick Baker. There we go. We got a Rick Baker plug-in.
Yep.
Or our Rob Bottin. All these guys are done. They go around to conventions and they talk about it. But
They just teach.
it's and so there is practical effect, but there's not the ratio.
Right.
You know, it seems it definitely tipped to where you're just getting a ton more for smaller stuff, and then plus now we're getting into the stuff of like the de-aging effect and
Yeah,
stuff like
exactly.
that.
Yeah, and
I'm hopeful though that there's another wave coming.
Me too.
Because it seems like there's
too.
a lot of younger filmmakers
Yes.
now that are that really love the practical effects.
Yep.
Because look at Stranger Things.
Yes.
That's got
Great.
practical effects in it.
Yeah.
And people are eating it
Lots.
up. You know.
Lots, yeah.
But it's like slowly bubbling up.
Yep.
But I also I feel like I'm gonna have an old man moment here. But it feels like it's just like this is how everything goes. You know, where it's like back then you didn't have the luxury of having computers. So you're just like, we have to figure this out. And So you have a group of 10 guys, and they're all trying to figure out, like, how can we get eyeballs to fly from here over there? And they're all figuring it out. Where now, it's like, what a luxury. Now it's like the director can just be like, can you guys make this happen for me so I can go film something else? And they're like, oh, yeah, we'll do that in post. You know? So it's like a luxury for them, and it's laziness. You know, it's like I don't have time for that, so we'll just do that with animation, and then I can go film this thing now. you know?
Right.
It's laziness and it's money too, because it's like, wow, we'll get 10 more scenes filmed today if we don't have to sit here and try to work this out, you know.
Yeah.
But that's the beauty of those old ones, you know?
It is that kind of that grace under pressure, right? Like
Totally.
how we're, you know, we got a big vat of blood, we got a bunch of condoms, we got you know,
I know.
how do we make this thing happen?
Right.
Okay, we need an air compressor. Go.
Yeah. I
Yeah, and
know.
they've got the camera to work with.
Yeah.
A lot of those shots of Hill were just close-ups.
Yes. Yep. Yep.
When he's being held by his body.
Yeah,
Of the head, the head.
Yeah. I will say probably the one single best thing about going more CG is you don't have all the cutaways anymore.
Yeah.
Cutaways are kind of becoming a thing of the past.
That's
true.
true.
That was definitely, they were prevalent back in, the 85 when this was made.
Yeah.
Even in this film, there's a little bit of that, right? Where, like you said, you either have to do a zoom in or you've got to do a quick. You got to do all the quick cut stuff so that you don't expose. Like, the one where it's Hill when he was licking her, right? When Hill's licking Megan, that's a quick shot too because they don't want to show. They showed his head and the hands holding it, but you can't move the camera there anymore.
Oh, right.
Show the guy that's got his hands. He's holding onto his head, so it's just a real quick. Like,
that was interesting. How'd they do that shot? Because was the licking head like suspended in the air, or was his body?
They were
covered?
in closer, so it was supposed to be suspended in the air.
Yeah.
But I think what it is if you panned back, you would have seen the actor,
With
the
his
John Kerry actor,
shoulders
was leaning over,
Yeah.
and you've got a second guy with his hands there,
Right.
Yeah.
and they've just got in so close that you're giving the illusion that his head was floating, right?
Yeah.
He's really he's leaning over the table.
I think they really, like, I was watching it a couple times and I felt like they were really smart how they cut though, because there was a lot of stuff where it's like, close up of his face and then the back of his rubber head as he's setting it down. That stuff is really effective. I thought.
Right. Yeah, there's definitely the right way to do it and the wrong way to do it. Right. Yeah. You definitely don't want it to be all those like on TV where it's like we have no money to show the monster.
Yeah.
Just don't show it.
Yeah.
Like we're gonna show you. Oh no! Stop. Cut. Okay.
One thing that's confusing to me though is at the end when the intestine comes out and wraps around Dr. West, right? And then one of the fat lady throws the acid down on the ground.
Yeah.
There's smoke everywhere. Right?
Yep.
But then there's like that weird white light coming from
I think that
body.
was coming out of the body. So I think that gets into this like.
So that was the From Beyond.
It's the From Beyond.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's like very prototypically.
Lovecraft.
Yeah. You're going over to the other side.
Whose body was that was sucking him in though? Was that Hill's body?
That was Hill's body because remember he goes, "We're gonna give him an overdose."
Yeah.
And,
that's
and
right.
he shoots the 2 syringes into him, and then he just busts open, and the intestine turns into a tongue, and
right.
Yeah, so
great.
it kind of like super mutated him.
Yeah.
And turned him into a vortex to From Beyond.
Suck him into this other From Beyond. And the mutagen though, that was cool though because I thought that was really cool too how that was introduced because it was never really explained. Like where did he find this glowing green juice,
Yeah, that was never explained.
Right.
And where did he keep getting it from? Like he had like a never-ending supply.
He had a stash of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, did he have a formula? Was that in the notebook?
Well, remember, because it had to have been in the notebook because he freaks out when he knocks him out and Hill comes and takes it, right? And then he's like, "Oh, hopefully he didn't take what I had stashed upstairs or whatever it is, right?"
Yeah.
And then,
So
Yeah,
maybe
so that's interesting. Well, in the subsequent movies, did they explain that? Is the same green juice?
I can't remember. I mean, it is the same green juice.
Yeah.
I don't know if they ever really explained the source of it though.
right.
Because that kind
We
of
could be
feels...
gaping here. We didn't do our homework, people.
Yeah.
But yeah,
We don't usually do our homework though.
we usually don't. Yeah, that's the beauty of this podcast.
Right. But I feel like that's kind of interesting. That would be like if somebody wants to make another sequel, they should go back and like, where's the source of this green goo?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's got to be in the From Beyond world,
Yeah,
the
because I mean,
origin
maybe
story,
it was from Hans Gruber.
Yeah,
right.
right.
Maybe
Yeah.
Hans
I'd like
Gruber
to
had a
know what
larger part
happened.
to do with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be good to see like the Rogue One of
Yes.
Re-Animator,
Oh,
where like it
beautiful.
ends on Hans Gruber dying.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
All
Oh, dude,
the
now
lead
you're
up.
thinking.
Yeah.
The last shot is the blood going into that lady's face.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be beautiful.
Dr. Gruber.
Vigets?
I love that they're all speaking German.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure in German that's like, hey, what's going on?
Yeah.
She comes in, hey, what's going on?
Yeah. Did you notice when Hans Gruber died, and then the one police officer is like, "Stop! He stop!" He's like, "Yes, I know he's dead."
Yeah.
Oh, those policemen. I was trying to like watch the movements of the policemen breaking into that room.
Yeah, when they're
At the
knocking the
beginning,
window
they're
out
just
and
like,
everything.
knocking the paint out.
Yeah.
looking at each other. It wasn't really sophisticated.
Yeah.
No.
Nope, not at all.
Yeah.
That's how German policemen.
Yes.
When Hans Gruber is
Oh,
involved.
those would have been West German
Yes,
policemen
that's
too,
true.
right?
That's
right,
true.
right.
Oh,
Or were they in
true.
Switzerland?
They Switzerland. were in Switzerland.
Oh, they were in
Switzerland.
Switzerland. Okay, never
But
mind.
they could
Sorry,
have been.
sorry,
They could
Germany.
have been West Germans in Switzerland.
That's true. Very true. Yes.
Yeah,
We
that's
don't
true.
know. We know definitely Hans Gruber was German.
Yes. Well,
Right.
he was Hans Gruber.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice suit. I have two myself. What else did he say? What are some other good Hans Gruber lines?
Oh man.
There's something about Forbes. I read the
Yeah.
article in Forbes.
Yeah. Call me Roy. You're big car air. Motherfucker. That was good.
Good stuff.
Man,
What else?
what else? Was there any parts of this movie, if you look back at Re-Animator, would you say, oh, they should have done that part again, or maybe got a different actor, or
You know, I thought that
wasn't that effective.
So here's okay. I'll go first.
Okay.
The first time I saw it, the very first time, I distinctly remember. I was thinking that way because there wasn't any like zombie. There weren't any of the reanimated bodies in the first chunk of it, right? But then, so I'm thinking that just in the first 15 minutes, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Once you see what it is setting you up for, all of that went away for me. And then, so every subsequent time when I watch it now, I'm like, this is so good here in the beginning because we're totally getting set up for like just madness. I mean, it's we kept saying berserk, and it really does get berserk at times. It gets totally crazed.
Yeah.
And I think that is in the beauty. So I could see how someone might think the first part is a little bit slower, but man, that's all setting you up with the character developments because they're all taking those weird turns that we talked about. You know, you're not quite sure who's good or bad, and what anybody's motives are too, right? Is kind of always up in the open. So I don't think I would change that. Maybe more pineal gland jokes.
Yeah.
I don't know, because the casting is great. You know, it's such a cool.
Yeah, it's great.
It's
for me, it would all be just like little nitpicky stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Right.
Like when they're looking for Rufus.
Right.
Or when Megan, I thought it was kind of like funny when Megan and Kane are sitting on the couch and Megan says, "Oh, where's Rufus?"
Yeah.
And then there's like
There's a huge scene
like
there,
3 or 4 minutes
Yeah.
of them looking
Yeah.
for the cat.
And
just walking around one room,
Yeah.
Yeah.
basically just going.
Yeah.
Yeah. We didn't need all that.
Yeah.
That was a little. They show us so much of that, and not even one shot of the cat.
Right.
Yeah. No shot of the cat.
Yeah, I agree too. Mine are very nitpicky as well. I feel like because I love Herbert West so much, you know, I feel like they could have really done a lot more with his entrance. You know what I'm saying? So like we have the scene with the Hans Gruber scene. That's beautiful,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
a great introduction to his character. But then when he comes into the hospital, it's so awkward and weird when all the doctors are in
They're
like a
all
little
standing there. Yeah.
They're all standing around each other. It's like they didn't have enough room in the room to give everybody space. And then he's like uncomfortably walking past everybody and like it's just that was I felt like because Herbert West is so awesome, they could have done a much more cool scene to get him into the hospital.
Yeah, the staging of that scene was really awkward.
Yeah.
Like the 4 doctors just like chatting with each other.
Yep.
And then Herbert West is just like, your work is outdated. And then he's like uncomfortably goes in front of him and to get away. You know? It's like that's a missed opportunity.
6 to 12 minutes.
Right.
Yeah, it's like that. He says that same line 3 different times.
Right.
6 to 12 minutes.
Not true. Herbert West is like, it's not true. I want to break a pencil.
Yeah. Oh.
You should have brought a pen.
Yeah, when does John Kerry say, "I look forward to failing you"?
Oh yeah, right.
Was that in their first meeting, or was that after the
The
pencil?
second
class.
meeting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Second one.
Yep.
And I love that too. Like the whole class is just lingering there.
Yep.
Class is dismissed, and then everybody just stays there.
Like,
I look forward to failing you, Herbert West. These
man.
people want an education. What kind of hog slop are you trying to teach them? They did not get along at all.
No.
Yeah.
Man.
Well-
That's the thing where it's like that felt a little theatrical, right?
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
Because usually people at least make the pretense of trying to get along, you know.
Right.
But then maybe that's kind of the cool thing about Herbert West is there's no pretense at all.
Yeah. His character
He's
is
like,
kinda
I am
weird
what
like
I
that.
am.
Right. Yeah.
Screw all you guys.
Yeah.
But also, was he already predisposed to hating West? Because it seemed like there was a little backstory there where Hill was aware of Gruber.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
So maybe Hill knew what Gruber was working on and was already suspicious of West.
Or they were in competition, like Gruber and Hill worked in the same field, and they
Definitely.
were,
exactly.
they were enemies within the
Well,
academic
because
circles or
in
whatever.
that scene doesn't Herbert West say like, go steal some more ideas from Gruber and call it your own work?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
true.
he says
does.
that, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So there was already that.
And then puts a shovel in his head.
I will be famous. God.
Yeah, that was a good moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, the shovel and that. I think that was some of the best effects were the shovel
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
chopping off John Kerry's head. That was
Yes.
pretty
Yes.
intense.
Yeah.
That was really nicely done.
Yeah, I'd like to take another look at that. I don't know how they did that because there was the one shot of the shovel like 95% through the neck.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then they cut to
I
behind
mean, I
him.
suppose that was just a fake body.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
'Cause we didn't
Yeah,
see-
He was underneath.
Yeah, we didn't see Hill's face there.
Yeah.
All right.
Or it could have been the guy without the jaw.
Yeah, it could have been.
He could have stunt doubled for him.
Yes.
Do you remember that part in Spaceballs? I just saw a clip of this. But that part in Spaceballs where they're like, go get them, and then they come back. You abducted the stunt doubles. it's like all the characters, but it's the stunt doubles, and it's like the girl with the mustache.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that part.
Kind of like that moment. Yeah, you're right.
Oh, that's good stuff.
Yeah, I'm curious about that jawless dude.
Yeah, he that guy was incredible.
That might have been the scariest part, actually. I don't know. I feel bad.
But what magazine was he reading? Was
Yeah,
it
well-
Boudoir?
I don't know.
Fangoria, I'm
It
telling
was-
you.
okay.
It's Fangoria.
Yeah.
Looking to the
Man.
future.
Yeah. What other aspect of this movie can we highlight for people? Because let's do this thing.
Yeah.
If anybody's on the fence, like, I just saw this Neighborhood Watch thing on YouTube.
Yeah.
Re-Animator. I've heard of that before. Should I watch it? What would we say to them?
Yeah, of course.
Be ready to have your mind blown.
Yeah.
Loosen your belt. Because
Right.
you're going to be, So, but why? Yeah. I mean,
if you
if you like zombies,
Yep.
blood and guts,
Muppet Cats.
Muppet Cats, a very good, probably, and we mentioned this earlier, but to get back at it, just that really perfect balance of humor and gore, right? In this case, it's like straight horror. This isn't monster horror so much. It's like, it's really gory horror, but
Raistlin Bran, let me interrupt you a second, Dr. K.
Yeah,
because,
please do.
How did you feel watching it for the first time? Was because Dr. K and I were laughing our asses off. You were laughing a little bit. Was it as funny? Like, how did you feel about it? Like, were there some parts you're just kind
I
of
think
like,
the question that was running through my head was the one I posed at the beginning of the session. Like, what's their intention? Are they trying to be funny?
Mm-hmm.
or are we just laughing at it?
Yeah, because because usually when I approach a horror, I'm going in like not expecting to laugh.
Yeah.
And I want to be scared out of my wits, like freaked out.
Sure.
And this wasn't that.
Yeah.
It was more. It was you're gonna laugh at it.
Yeah.
But
in a fun way, though.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good point.
Yeah, and there were there were a few. Like some of the acting, some of the lines you could laugh at.
Yeah.
Just the melodrama of it, of course.
Oh yeah.
But
yeah,
it's just going to be a fun romp. You're going to see great effects. But good characters. West is a great character.
Yeah.
As you guys pointed out.
Yeah.
And so's Hill.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know about Kane.
Yeah, Kane, interesting, right? Because he's almost a Ken doll sometimes.
Yeah,
He's not
kind of.
quite as good, and he's when Kane and West are together, West totally dominates that relationship
for sure.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
But then that's what his character would have to do, right? You couldn't put him with a strong character because then it would just be just a conflict the whole time.
I will
So
say
he kind of has to be that way.
Yeah, and I will say about that character of Kane, he is in the second one, and he's a lot stronger in the second one.
Oh,
and the
interesting.
dynamic between the two is stronger. You know, it's definitely more like it's kind of like two Dr. Frankensteins in a way,
Right.
Yeah.
But like
They're
motivated
like partners now.
Yeah, yeah.
I gotta see that.
But my gripe with the second one is it definitely suffered with. I think I'm not sure we should probably check that too, but
Yep.
I'm not sure Stuart Gordon directed the second one. I feel like it was Brian Usna, the producer, that directed
Because
it.
he definitely did the third one. Yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like it suffers a little bit from not having Stuart Gordon, and the budget seems definitely less too. You know,
Yeah.
so it's I wouldn't say like if you're going in to watch the second one, don't expect that much. It'll be definitely interesting if you like the first one. Definitely watch it, you know, but just don't expect it to be better than the first one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That usually, unfortunately, that kind of is the way with anything that goes to series. You know,
Especially
like
horror.
Yes, especially horror, right? Because we're getting for a little glimpse into the future of what's going on here in Neighborhood Watch. Peter and I have been talking about sitting down and just burning through all 5 phantasms.
Yeah.
The one that I always butcher.
Yeah.
The 5 phantasms, because they're freaking awesome.
Yeah.
But probably if we do it that way, or we might only do the first one. Hey, people, who knows? Post in our comments what you want us to do. 1 or all 5. But there's always going to be that when you start looking at them as a group, right? It almost always, not in every case, but almost always the first one kind of sets the bar and the standard for the rest of them. Although they're always, like Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 is a perfect example of a sequel can be something totally different than the original and totally spectacular and awesome, right? Because in that case, the budget was probably 50 times what it was for the first one, and the movies are just totally different. They get you in a totally different way.
Never seen them.
Yeah, I mean the first
Am
one.
I gonna laugh at Texas Chainsaw Massacre?
No,
A couple parts. There's
yeah,
like 2 parts that come to mind. You will laugh. But
I think I heard something up there. That part, you'll die of laughter.
and when he's pissing on the hill and he tumbles down too.
Yes, yeah.
But that's about it.
I say the first Texas Chainsaw Massacre is pretty gritty.
Ooh,
it's
brutal.
pretty. It's like what you were probably hoping for.
Yeah.
Like for a movie that's going to scare you.
Right.
Yes.
Peter and I talked about which. We kind of narrowed it down to 3 movies, but it was which one actually creeps you out the most, and that was my pick, was Texas Chainsaw Massacre, because it's a dirty film. It's not in like a.
It's real horror.
It's like
real.
real.
Yeah.
Everything in it's filthy and dirty. The scenery is dirty. The people in it are gross.
And this could actually happen.
And it could actually happen.
Yeah.
There's not a real. They're
no
monsters, but
fantasy.
they're real. You
Gotcha.
know? Yeah. So
Yeah.
that one.
It was The Shining, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and The Exorcist.
And Exorcist.
All right, yeah, I was
Those
gonna
3
ask
freaked
Exorcist.
us out the most. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
That
All
one,
right.
that one's
That's
probably
good.
number 1 for me.
Yep.
Exorcist.
Yeah.
All right.
Right.
That's
And
at
that's
the
like
top of
splitting
my
hairs
list.
because
Then.
The Exorcist also is boy man, it's on
Yeah, it's
an
another
awesome
level.
level.
It's
Yeah.
another level.
Yeah, because I watched Poltergeist for the first time
Yeah.
a couple years ago.
Okay.
And it was scary, but like
Yeah.
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 I didn't get scared.
It's a Spielberg movie. It's a Lucas film. You know, Lucas.
It's popcorn kind of.
Yeah, and it's good, right? I think that was. I think we talked about this when Evan was on our episode. That was unfortunately like it's a movie you've got to see when you're 10, you know, and then it's really scary.
Yeah.
And then when you grow on it, you become nostalgic about it, and you can like it for other reasons. Yeah.
Yeah, but like The Exorcist for me, like I borrowed the DVD from Dr. K.
Yep.
And you know, I was bringing it home at night, you know, and like I'm serious, like I put it on my desk, you know, and then I had to like turn it over because it had her face on it. That's how much.
That's
that's
good.
how much that movie gets
I
under
want
my
that.
skin. You know?
Yeah.
I was like, I couldn't like leave it up like that. I was like, I got to put something over that. 'Cause that's,
Yeah, I'm searching for that because any horror I see, it's just like okay.
Yeah.
Like I had remembered I would have previously said Blair Witch was the scariest movie I'd seen.
Right.
And I'd only seen it once in the theater.
Yeah.
And then watched it again recently, and it's just not as scary anymore.
Yeah. We've talked about that one a lot too,
Yeah.
and that's a fantastic one of those where it's got such a great hook, but the problem is the hook is what kind of dooms it on a rewatch. Right?
Yeah.
Because once you know the premise, you can't just like I'm gonna forget it.
Off.
Right. Yeah. No, you're right.
So it doesn't hold up.
Totally, because it's all driven by you don't know what's going to happen next.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
And then once you know what's going to happen next, you're
That's
like,
right.
what's the point? Yeah.
Yeah.
But same as me though. I'm glad that you said that because that was also a huge one for me too. Blair Witch. The first time I saw that was just freaked out.
Yeah.
But again, my younger brother would be like, it wasn't scary at all. I'd be like, what?
Yeah.
There's those movies like that.
Yeah,
you know?
we all
People are
bring
just-
something to it.
People
Yeah.
are divided on things.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think. Well, for me, I think just like walking through the woods in the
Getting
dark
lost.
at night,
Yeah.
lost.
Yep.
Lost.
That's a
right?
scary one.
If you've ever been lost in the woods,
Oh,
yeah.
it captures that feeling perfectly. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. Panic. Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Crazy man on the loose in the woods.
Yeah.
That's scary.
That's Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
That's Texas Chainsaw
Very
Massacre.
good.
Yeah, right. You're in not the woods, but it's Texas. It's in the middle of nowhere, Texas. You've got no help, right?
Right.
So it might as well be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a good point because I think for us, this is the weird thing too of doing this podcast is Dr. K at the beginning was he was the horror fan, and I was like, I like horror movies, but I'm like, I think I'm myself as more maybe a sci-fi guy or a fantasy, whatever.
Yeah.
But then the more we do the podcast, I realize like, no, I love all of these movies that we're talking about. Like every single one, I'm like, oh yeah, I do love that movie,
Yeah.
But for me, most of I think, and a lot of people that really love horror too, it's not just for the scares. It's also for the comedy.
Yes.
It's also for the
Absolutely.
It's also for the ridiculous absurdity and things that can happen too.
Absurdity. That's exactly
Yeah.
what it is. Yeah.
And we thrive on that. So it's like I think for a lot of people that aren't really into horror, they have that feeling of like it's those are scary movies, and that's it.
Yeah.
But there's actually once you start getting into it, you're like, oh my god, there's so much more here.
Right.
Yeah.
So.
That's the thing. I think it's easy for people who don't like horror to blow it off, but there's a lot of dimensions there.
Yeah.
The hey, I want to be scared dimension. The hey, I want to laugh and be grossed out dimension. The I love monsters, and that's the thing we've talked about too. There is a difference between a horror movie and a monster movie, but monster movies almost always fall into horror movies, right? Godzilla's one that's probably not a horror movie and it's a monster movie, or King Kong, but generally speaking, most monster movies are horror movies, right? And then you can even get Texas Chainsaw Massacre or any of those 80s tropes ones that come through with Jason and Freddy and freaking Chucky and name them all. Those are all monster movies first. Your central character is a monster, but then how you use that to take you on a horror ride, there's just so many different ways to do it, which it's just that's fun, and that's I think one of the funnest parts about.
Well, and I think also too, what I'm noticing is it feels like most horror movies too have kind of like a rock star element, what I mean is like there's a character that clearly dominates the whole movie.
Oh yeah, and sometimes it's the good guy, sometimes it's the villain, right?
More
A lot of the times,
more
it's
often
the
than
villain.
not, it's the villain.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about like The Shining is Jack Nicholson.
Right.
The Exorcist is the little girl.
Oh my gosh, Reagan. Yeah. Right.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yes.
Leatherface.
Yep. But then you've got ones like Alien, where it really is Ripley, right?
Yeah.
There's the alien.
Yeah.
And the alien is scary, but Ripley kind of ends up being the kind
hero.
of rock star, the one that you're totally rooting
that pins
for.
it together. Yeah.
You're like, hey, you gotta.
Yeah, because
this.
what's cool about the Alien movies is they're really like, I mean, especially the second one, it's a war movie.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And you get to know everybody in the squad.
Totally.
And then they all get picked off.
Yeah.
But you're always hoping, you're always thinking like, well, Ripley's gonna survive at least.
Right.
You know?
Right. Or she'll get cloned.
Yeah.
And turned into a mutant who has an alien baby.
That's right.
And
Do you guys prefer Aliens to Alien?
Oh, that's a good question.
That's such a great question. Because it's so so easy to go one way or the other.
Yeah.
So I guess the question is, if you had to pick one.
To me, it's not even close.
Okay, so
but I prefer Alien.
Alien,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah,
right.
but I think as far as just anecdotally, I think most people say Aliens is the better movie, at least from what I hear.
Yeah.
But it could be people thinking Alien and just making it,
Positing.
adding the S on.
Yeah.
Yes.
It could be that.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, this also gets in the question of what do you mean exactly by prefer? Do you mean by, like, do we prefer which one is a superior movie, or which one do we like more? You know what I'm saying?
Good question.
Yeah, I know, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, so, okay, well, let's answer both.
Yeah,
Okay.
answer.
'Cause I think Alien, so I'll go, Alien, I think is the better movie. The claustrophobic, you know, there's a lot of things going on there.
Yeah.
That is probably a better way to make a movie and storytelling. But then I think the one that I like better is Aliens.
Interesting.
Because I like the larger cast, and I really like that instead of what made the first one so good, which was one monster that you didn't quite see, and he's just kind of picking everybody off, to going to the extreme of that, which is you have a whole bunch of them and you're being overrun.
Right.
And so now you're the one who's almost trying to get backed into a corner and hide because the enemy force, the monsters, there's so many of them. Right?
Yeah, you're outnumbered. Yeah.
And
it's
the
a good
dialogue in the second one is just so, it's so gung ho, and it's so like action.
Well, you've got Hudson.
I mean, Hudson, Hicks, Apone, Vasquez, Dietrich, all of them. I mean, it's such Bishop, and it's so cool, right? Because the android is such an antagonist in the first one, and yet he's so awesome in the second one.
Yeah.
But you don't know, because you're like, oh man, maybe he is going to be bad.
Yeah.
But he ends up being totally good, and then he gets ripped in half.
Which actor's that? The
Lance Henriksen.
Lance
Okay,
Henriksen.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree with
Paul
you too.
Reiser's in that.
What's that?
Is Paul Reiser in that one?
Yeah, Paul
Yes.
Reiser.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, he's such a great villain in that.
yeah.
Right. A good guy who's a bad guy. Yeah.
I'm totally in the same boat. I think
Yeah.
I think the first one is a superior movie.
Yep.
Just in the sense of also it's like, you know, it's a Hitchcock movie. You know, the first Alien movie is it's textbook Hitchcock.
Yeah.
You know, and it's all about building tension and suspense and just ramping up all those dials. It's like clockwork, you know. There's just these little subtle shifts in the tone, and I mean, it's
all the
just
stuff with the cat in that movie too.
it's
talk
yeah. I mean,
about
it's
using the cat the right way.
it's
that film.
surgical.
Oh.
That movie is
Yeah.
surgical precision, you know.
Yeah.
Where the second one, it's just a free for all action movie. It's a big budget, awesome summer action movie.
Yeah.
And it's way more fun.
Yeah.
Just on a visceral level, it's fun, you know.
Yeah.
So I think if I had them both in front of me, I'd be like, well, I'd rather watch Aliens just because it's just more fun.
Yeah, I got you.
But I respect the first one more, you know.
Yeah.
So that's where it is.
Yeah.
But,
There's I mean, that can even get into just the filmmaking aspect too. One's a Ridley Scott movie and one is a James Cameron movie.
yeah.
And,
there you go.
you can look at it that way too.
Two very different
Yeah.
like styles.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's such a slow rollout in Alien.
Yeah. It
So
is, but it's awesome though,
Yeah, it's
right?
awesome.
Like in a great way, not in a.
But I think, I broke it down to like minute by minute when the plot points were,
Yeah.
and I forget. But I think when the alien first comes out of his chest, whatever,
Yep.
it's like halfway through the movie.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like I'm pretty sure they touch down on that planet.
Yep. LV-427.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Or is that in the second one? I forget.
No, I think you're right. That's the first
Yeah.
one. Yeah.
I want to
Yeah,
say
it is
that's
LV-427.
like
Yep.
that's like 20 or 30 minutes into the movie
Yeah,
or something.
right.
Yeah.
Right, because they got the whole thing about like what's going on. We're in a
Yeah.
ship. What are we doing? Oh well, we have to time travel.
Yeah.
Everyone's got to come out. We've got to introduce everybody. Right.
Yep.
But it's so cool too because they're basically just truckers. You know?
They
They're
are.
just space truckers.
Right.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
truckers. Yeah.
Yeah.
The second one,
that's
they're
exactly what they
Marines.
are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Those are just great.
Ah,
movies.
great. I mean, they're yeah. We digress, but those are there's for a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're good.
Those are really good.
Yeah.
And then I mean, right? There's Alien 4 is obviously the best. So
When was Alien 4 again?
Alien
Oh,
Resurrection.
that was the one.
That was
that
the
the-
birthing of the hybrid birth alien queen baby.
You know that
Is that the
movie-
Winona one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
I don't think I've seen that.
See,
Yeah.
no, that one, you should revisit. If you haven't seen it for a few years, go back
Yeah.
and revisit it because it's actually not as bad as I remembered it.
Oh no, I actually like it for what
Yeah.
it is. For what
Yeah.
it is, it's good. Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually got a lot of fun moments. Yeah.
Yep. It is.
I
Ron
love the whole-
Perlman.
Yep.
He's doing pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I love the whole thing where there's like, isn't there a part where they're like underwater?
Underwater swimming. Yeah. And you see how
Underwater
good the
aliens,
alien can
yeah.
swim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, I don't think I ever watched it.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's good. It's good.
Oh,
Winona's
loved
the
that
daughter?
The
Is
one
she,
guy
is she
rides.
supposed to be Ripley's daughter?
No, she wasn't the daughter.
No,
she yeah.
Winona Ryder.
You have to watch it.
Okay.
Yeah, because we
Oh,
shouldn't spoil that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, all right.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Key question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's got the guy with the lips.
Mm-hmm.
He's
The
just
guy
put his
named do
lips
that
away.
French actor. He's
Yep.
great.
Yep.
I love that he's a cripple too, and he rides on the other guy's back in a backpack.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
The third one too, though. The third one.
Yeah, the
was
third
also
one's good.
actually,
It's good.
that one
Yeah, it gets a lot of flack,
Flacked a lot too. That was one of David
That-
Fincher's first movies.
Yes. Yeah. And that one has a lot more in common with the first one. A lot more in common with the first one, right? Because you're on a prison planet.
Yep.
Just everybody's trapped in the. You can't go anywhere. You can't go outside. You're all stuck in the prison.
Oh, right.
That one I
Slow
think
build
is
up.
probably the most horror too. I would
Yeah.
actually say the third one, as far as when the guys are getting killed, it's like
Yes.
really blood and guts.
Yep. Disturbing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very disturbing. Yeah.
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 And two, it's like you really fall in love with all of the prisoners, the doctor and everything. I was like, oh, this doctor's great. And then it's crick.
Don't worry, Ripley. Me and my team of ultimate badasses will protect you. Knock it off, Hudson. Yeah.
Somebody wake up, Hicks.
What happened
That's
to
in
Michael
3?
Biehn?
Two.
Two?
When they're in the drop ship, when they're going down. They're all
I think I've
getting in
only
the drop
seen
ship
2
to
once.
go down.
I think
Yeah.
I've only seen it once.
Yeah, to
Gotta
go
see it
land
again.
on whichever planet
I
that's
think I
called.
just, coming out of it, I was like, no, I like number 1 better.
Yeah.
And then just never went back.
You need to see, because this is something too that I didn't really know until recently. Is there's the director's cut special edition of 2, which has like 35
Oh,
minutes or
easily.
something more
Yeah.
of
Oh, wow.
footage. It's like significantly
Yeah.
longer and
Yeah.
and more. And so now I'm like, but I watched it and I was like, man, I don't know how they could cut all these scenes out. Like I want to go back and watch the original theatrical now because it's like it didn't feel too long with 35 more minutes of footage.
Right,
put
and
on.
you know what is so interesting about that dynamic too is that for how bad George Lucas fucked up the original trilogy with adding in all that crap, because so that Aliens director's cut originally that came out on Laserdisc. That was specifically released to help sell Laserdisc, right?
Wow.
So that came out in like 1990
Yeah.
or 1989. That cut.
Yeah.
And I would say it's one of the very few times where I would say what is the special edition version just far outshines. Yeah, like you said, it's hard to believe that they had to cut all of that out, and I think most of it had to do with time restraint.
Yeah.
'Cause everything they put back in, you're like, oh, this is awesome to the story.
Right.
It all really helps. The story gets better, and like the thing with the machine guns and everything, that answers a bunch of the questions
does.
that we didn't know because they had to cut all that stuff out. Where they're explaining, hey, we got these robots, and we can go set these robot sentries up. And the original cut, they're all set up, and then it's just like, oh yeah, hey, what are the robots doing? You know, and you're like, oh, what?
Maybe that's
There's a
the
whole
cut
bunch
I
of stuff
saw.
like that, you know,
Yeah.
and it all seemed like time, like they were just like, hey, it's too slow.
Yeah.
Cut that out, cut that out. Yeah.
Yeah, it's too bad.
Yeah.
This is our aliens episode, by the
Yeah,
way.
sorry.
Yeah.
We just
And no,
got
we do this
sidetracked.
Well, we do every episode.
Yeah.
Every
Yeah.
episode
Don't
we
worry.
digress.
That's part
We
of
haven't
the,
talked about Stone Cold, so
Yeah.
we're doing good.
Yep.
Yes.
And Highlander too. We
Or
haven't mentioned
Highlander. Yeah.
Oh, good,
once,
good.
So
Are you much of a Bosworth fan, Brian Bosworth?
No.
Oh, good.
I mean, he's
you don't
He's
like
just-
it.
Wait,
he's a
you
nice
gotta go
guy.
see. You gotta see frickin' Stone Cold because it's one of the greatest action movies.
Well,
of
it's
all
got Lance Henriksen in it.
time.
oh
It does.
perfect.
Yeah.
It does.
One of his best roles too.
It
Actually,
really.
he's got a mullet. Oh, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is a good one. Yeah. Well, let's get back to Re-Animator for some final
Re-Animator,
thoughts.
Yeah.
okay.
Final thoughts.
Yeah, final thoughts on Re-Animator.
Absolutely fantastic from character standpoint. Comedic, great special effects.
Yes.
Music.
The music. I liked the music, believe it or not. I mean, it is Richard Band, so it's...
Yeah, you guys knew that name? I've not heard of him.
Yeah. So are you familiar with Charles Band, the filmmaker, Empire Films,
Maybe.
Pictures?
What was his most famous? Maybe the Puppet Masters. Would
Puppet
be?
Master, probably. Did a bunch of really B movie horror stuff.
Tracers, I think.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, the guy just like diarrheas movies out. Like,
Yeah.
Just like.
Yeah. But so his brother is the composer, and the two of them started Empire Films. I think Re-Animator was one of the first Empire Film movies.
Yeah.
It was super early on.
Okay.
Right. But anyway.
Now they have their own channel or something too, right?
Yeah.
Full Moon or something.
Full Moon, that's right.
Wow.
Full Moon, yep. So if you hear about Full Moon Productions, that's all their stuff.
I think most of their
They're
money.
still making movies?
Oh yeah,
they-
most of
they
their money
crank 'em
now
out.
is like
Yeah.
what is it, Evil Bong or something like that?
Yeah,
They have,
right.
like an
Have you seen
Evil
that?
Bong franchise.
Evil Bong,
Yeah.
Ginger Dead Man.
Bong?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
a bong.
It's a bong, and it's like Chucky,
it's
but it's a
evil.
bong.
Yeah.
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 right. And there's like 10 of them.
Yeah.
Like, no
they
shit.
just keep slocking them out.
All right.
Yeah.
So-
Or Doll Man. That was a good
Doll
one.
Man.
Or Doll Man versus Puppet Master. We're not making this stuff up. Yeah.
Yeah. But what's frustrating about Charles Band, I feel like, is like he did have a lot of great ideas though.
He
It's
did.
just the
He really
execution
did,
of them
yeah.
just didn't work out for some.
Most of them didn't. Yeah. They.
There's a great one. I forget what it's called, but it's like in World War II, a squad of guys find a crashed UFO.
Oh,
in the
cool.
middle of like France.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, this is gonna be cool.
Yeah.
No.
Way better.
Does
in
he
your
write
imagination.
them?
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah, writes and directs them.
Wow.
Yep.
It's a great premise.
Yeah, that's a good premise.
But no, the execution just whoa. You're like, how can you get this wrong? You got it wrong.
Right.
So
I
I don't know. But we don't want to end this show with negativity.
No,
Let's
no,
say
no,
something
no.
positive.
Yeah.
He did make a lot of Puppet Master.
Yeah.
Puppet Masters. Puppet Master.
Puppet Master.
Is it the Puppet Master or just Puppet Master?
I think it's just Puppet Master. Yeah.
But there were so many puppets though.
Yeah, but those were the puppets.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
only one master.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Those were good. As a kid, I loved
Yeah.
those movies.
Yeah. I mean, they're dolls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Fighting.
There's
and
the
they're all
little
monsters.
Remember there
Yeah.
was like the girl. She had the black hair, and then she would
Yeah.
open her mouth, and like a slug would come out of her mouth.
Oh, wow.
Or the guy with the guy who looks like a big brute, but he has a drill sticking out of
Yes.
the drill bit sticking
Yep.
out of the top of his
Yep.
head.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that was cool. So,
Yep.
He done
Just
good.
cheesy monster stuff.
Yeah. But Re-Animator,
But
Dr. K.
yes, Re-Animator, yes.
So Raistlin Bran had his final thoughts, right?
He did.
Or do you want
I
anything
think
else
so.
you want to add?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, all right. All right, I'm going with color. I think one of my
Yeah.
favorite things about this movie is the colors that's going on.
Oh, interesting.
It's a really cool color palette.
Yes.
They did really cool at showing the mutagen. I think that was kind of at the front end.
That was
This is
smart.
before Toxic Avengers, good little bit before Ninja Turtles. So, but that was a totally 80s things when we were kids, right? Having freaking ooze
Glowing
and
ooze.
glow in the dark stuff. And the lighting that they used on that effect, because that was all, none of that was optical effect. That was all practical. So it was just lighting.
Right.
Yeah.
I thought was really good.
Yeah.
Smart.
And
You're
I think
right.
just the lighting in general, particularly about like how it's different. It's everything is stainless steel when they're in the morgue, and it's got a very, very distinct look to it, as opposed to when they're down in the basement, has that very brown and shadowy look to everything. And then the zombies all have, I keep saying blue zombies. The blue zombies really are Dawn of the Dead, but
That's right.
these zombies are also kind of weirdly.
Yeah.
They've got their weird color.
There
to
was
them.
one that was definitely
The
more
one
blue.
guy. Yeah.
But that's weird that you mentioned that too, because in my memory too, there was a lot more blue zombies.
that's what I thought. But this,
I wonder if this transfer or something,
It
like they
could be,
cleaned it up or
maybe.
something.
Yeah.
Maybe the VHS had more blue.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
because there was a lot more
a
blue.
couple of those
in
at the end were kind of bluish green.
yeah.
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 Yeah. But it's got really it's a whole lot of things that come together.
Yeah.
And yeah, the effects. I mean, we keep saying the effects, but they're freaking awesome.
They really are. They really are.
Great. And the story's great. The best part is you can't just have effects. You can just have a story and it can carry it. But it's always nice to have a great story, great characters.
Yeah.
Okay, I have one lingering question.
Yes, go.
And this was an odd moment.
Yep.
But why does West? Why is he like? Oh man, like does this place have a basement? And then he goes down. He's like,
Whoa, this is perfect.
this basement's amazing. I'll take it.
And then
Like
there's clearly nothing in that basement that looks amazing.
yeah,
right?
nothing.
It's all boxes.
integral to his plan in that
Yeah.
basement. Just the privacy.
Yeah.
I think maybe is that just building the fact that we're supposed to think he's a weirdo, that he's kind of
Maybe.
quirky and
Yeah.
just a bizarre dude.
He also was very like just seemed like unnecessarily antagonistic to Kane's girlfriend Megan.
Oh, yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like he
yeah.
really hated her from the get go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was that all about?
Yeah. Maybe that was some weird misogynist.
Yeah.
Like he's supposed to. Because he's that way around the other students and stuff too,
Yeah.
right? He's like totally hoity-toity and
Yeah.
tries to act like he's one of the staff
Yeah.
when he's really just a student.
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of how he was being around here too. It's like this kind of weird '80s, you know, you're just a woman, blah, blah, go away, kind of thing.
I don't have time for human emotions.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, basically, he's just so focused on his plan
Yeah.
that if you
Obsession.
can't help him get to it,
That's what I was gonna say.
yeah, if you're not a doctor or a scientist,
Right.
then
Not
you're
on my
more
way.
useful being killed.
That's
so
it.
that he can
You're right.
reanimate you.
That's
yeah.
what it was.
Hey, you're a cat. You're gonna die.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stick a jar in your head. Then put you in the fridge.
Yeah. Well, and that's what I was gonna say. That's what my final thought
Okay,
was gonna
go.
be was that I think you hit it there, Raistlin Bran. Is it's this movie is about obsession, you know?
Yeah.
It's-
really. Big time.
It's Dr. West's obsession with getting results for his experiments, and it's Dr. Hill's obsession with Megan.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
those
You're
two
right.
forces coming against each other.
And Hill also paid lip service. I think that it was kind of like a theme stated moment when he was giving a lecture to the class and he was talking about it. I think he was talking about how
Yeah.
like we're always searching for this
Yeah.
thing
Yeah.
beyond death
Yeah,
and
yeah,
like
yeah.
whatever
Yeah.
he said.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. He was like, some people believe in an idyllic afterlife, and
Right.
but his whole point was like, there's nothing. When you're dead, you're dead. That's it.
Oh,
then-
right. He was talking about how like your brain dies, so you're
Yeah.
not going to be able to retain
Yeah.
any type of ego or something
And
in an
Herbert West was
afterlife.
very angry about
Yeah.
that.
Right.
6 to 12 minutes. Break another pencil. Yeah.
Yes.
So that's I think that's what I hate using the word resonates, but that does what resonate. That's what resonates.
You
with
using
me.
hipster words over there?
That's a hipster word, but I think that does
No,
that.
yeah,
that's
totally.
what hits me overall with this when I think about like why did Stuart Gordon make this? What was he trying
Yeah.
to communicate here?
Sure.
You know, I would say like that he's saying something about obsession, and yeah, the afterlife.
Have either of you read the original?
I did
story?
years ago, and there's like 3 short stories.
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
all have something to do with Herbert West.
Okay.
Right.
But for me, I'm amazed that they could make such a good movie out of those short stories because they didn't really stand out to me. Like H.P. Lovecraft has way better stories than that. You know,
Okay. Interesting.
they're kind of typical run of the mill like Pulp Fiction. Like, oh, okay, it's obsessed. It's Dr. Frankenstein.
So that probably says a lot about the filmmakers, right? Being
Yeah.
like, hey, wait a minute, here's what we can do with this, you know, and kind
Yeah.
of put our own.
Yeah. Because it's cool. It's also cool that because if you think about it, it's basically Frankenstein, right?
Well, yeah, totally.
But they really updated it and took it
Yeah.
in all these different turns that Frankenstein never even approached. You know,
Right.
so kudos.
Yeah.
When was Lovecraft writing?
10s, 20s,
1920s and 1930s.
20s, 30s, yeah.
Okay. So they had to buy the rights to this. I'm guessing.
I guess so. But in the 80s, Lovecraft, nobody knew who Lovecraft was really in
Man.
the 80s.
Yeah.
Well, it would have been. So, how long does copyright last? It's 75 years or it's 80
Something
years?
like that.
I think these days things that are coming into public domain are is like teens and 20s right now.
Oh yeah. So they.
But
the
laws
thing is,
have changed, so it
that's
could
true.
be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you can't you can't retroactively put something back into
No.
copyright, right? So.
No.
But that's interesting. That's an interesting point though, because do you remember this? I feel like they added the name H.P. Lovecraft's Re-Animator later. I think when this was released, they just called it Re-Animator.
Yeah.
You notice that?
I think so too. And part of that. So Stuart Gordon. I mean, how many Lovecraft stories did he did?
Yeah.
At least 5 or 6.
Oh, he became the
Lovecraft
Lovecraft movies. Director.
He's the guy
Okay.
to do Lovecraft. And so I wonder too if that was part of it. Like he and the producers and everybody were like, hey, let's get a deal with the Lovecraft estate, and then they started cranking them out, you know, because really between Re-Animator and
From Beyond.
Well, what was the one we just did?
Dagon.
Dagon.
Dreams of the Witch House.
Dreams in the Witch House, man.
Yeah.
Even that one, that was a master of horror, and that came out in 2005, 2007,
Maybe, yeah.
6, 5. So
Yeah. Yeah, so he
must have had a good deal going if copyright was an issue. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's only in the last, decade or so where like there's this huge Cthulhu interest. And people are like Lovecraft.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
back then, Lovecraft was nobody.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, there's some graphic novel that called Providence. Just came out a couple years ago.
Ooh, okay. Yeah.
It's based on some Lovecraft or the Lovecraft universe or something.
Right.
Yep. And we were just talking about
crazy.
Corbin. He did a whole ton of Lovecraft stuff for Dark Horse Comics.
Yep.
Richard Corbin,
yeah,
the comic artist. Yeah.
Yeah.
Writer, creator.
Yeah. I mean, that's good stuff. You can't.
Whew.
Lovecraft is like it's a whole other thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a whole nother. It's cosmic horror.
Yeah. Yes. He does such a great job too. It's so funny because all these Stuart Gordon movies, it's all about seeing the visuals are just so amazing, right?
Yeah.
Like we see the monsters, we see everything, but then when you read Lovecraft, man, he dances around without ever telling you exactly what you're seeing. He doesn't ever come out and be like, "This is happening. This is this," right?
Yeah.
He does that very, very kind of walking around and letting you put together.
Yeah. All right. I like that
type of storytelling, and it's just funny that Stuart Gordon is the exact opposite way of doing that, right? It's
Right.
like, okay,
That's
and
funny.
then here, blah, blah, blah,
Yeah, right.
let me
That's
show
so
you
true.
everything.
That's so true.
And,
that is very true. Because
that's exactly what Lovecraft didn't do. You know,
it was never in your face.
Everyone's got this idea of what they think a Cthulhu is. He never once tells you what it looks like or what it. You know, he tells you what it is. It's this cosmic. And it's this and it's that. And it's this and it's that. But we all think it's the squid head guy, and I'm almost sure that that's more of what pop culture has extrapolated it to be.
Because he was afraid of fish.
Yeah,
like he
everything.
Everything
that's a
in the
running
stories
theme.
are about he
Yeah.
just was deathly afraid of anything that was amphibious.
Wow, funny.
Which is funny because he lived right on the
He
right
lived
on the coast, right next to the Cape Cod or somewhere, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So if I'm saying if you're gonna read Lovecraft, I would say At the Mountains of Madness. Is that's
a great one.
full of that stuff where it's it's like talking about stuff but not really talking about it, and then Shadow over Innsmouth too, which is Dagon.
Yeah.
Are those books or stories?
Stories. Yeah.
But At the Mountains of Madness is probably about 100 pages. It's one of his longest because he never wrote any books. It was all short.
It's all stories.
Yeah.
But that's definitely I think his longest work, and it's great.
All right.
Yeah.
Antarctica.
Nice.
Yeah. Guillermo del Toro has been trying to get the rights to make that or just get funding for years.
Wow.
Get someone to let him make it.
Yeah. And but most producers are just like, how do you make this?
Yeah.
Because it's all about like not showing things.
Yeah.
Right.
Cool.
Right.
Give it a read.
Yeah.
Beauty of Lovecraft. Yeah.
I'm starting to cramp up, guys.
All right. So hopefully we turned you people on to a million good things here. Thanks for hanging out with us for the last hour and 45. We greatly appreciate it. If you like what you listen to, please press subscribe. Peter Venkman and I would love to start getting paid, but we still need to about triple our subscribers before we can make any money. So, and if you're listening to this on anything other than YouTube, we thank you so much. Tell your buddies.
SoundCloud.
If you love film. To our wonderful guest,
Thanks for having me.
Mr. Raistlin Bran.
RB.
RB.
Raistlin Bran.
Raistlin
Bran.
Bran, sorry. I was going to call you Raisin Bran. I
That's
knew that
fine.
was wrong, and then I
That's what everybody
much-mouthed
calls me.
it.
Yep.
Yeah, thanks for the invite.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I
it's
love
great
having you
having
here.
you,
Yeah, happy to sit in.
Well, it'd be nice for you now to go and watch like The Exorcist and some of those movies, and then come back to the show and tell us.
Yes.
Y'all
your
come better
thoughts.
prepared. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not even better prepared. It's just more interesting to know, like, wow, like, you know, you're really kind of going into unknown territory.
Yeah.
It'd be nice to see what your thoughts are about that.
Yeah. Most definitely.
You got to do an It Follows.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
We do.
It Follows and The Void is another one.
Oh, the Void. Right.
I haven't seen that.
Whoa, that's
Right.
right along the same lines. Also made around the same time too.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool.
Thanks.
Well, thanks
right.
everybody
Yeah,
for
thanks.
hanging out with us. And until next time, on behalf of yours truly, Dr. K, and my co-host,
Peter.
we'll see you next time.
Bye.